Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Night Owl, a show that we do twice a week where we talk about all the latest in pop culture news, TV and movie reviews, gaming news, and just the general conversations of the day. For those who don't know me, I'm Price of Reason, and with me, as always, is my co host, Professor R2. How's it going, Professor?
Well, it's going, back to the grindstone for me, back to classes and whatnot. So it has been a long and tiring day, but that's okay. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be hanging out with everybody. Sorry, we're running a little bit late. Had some technical issues getting started tonight, but we're glad to be here. And thanks for hanging with us, everybody out there in the chat on YouTube, and of course,
I feel
out
like
there
most of them
on
ran away, but
Rumble.
to the few,
They ran away because they saw we're going to talk about Green Lantern, and
they're like, shit.
Oh, damn it! No one wants to hear that anymore.
No, we have to. What can we do?
We have to talk about Green Lantern.
We have to talk about it.
We have to.
Yeah. But we could still find our way to, I don't know. We'll see what we do.
Talking about random stuff that just happens, as we always do.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to thank everybody for those who hung in there. Sorry, the technical difficulties. I can even explain what the technical difficulties were. Basically, usually when I use the streaming thing, all this OBS stuff, it goes into a directory on my laptop. But this week, like I started running out of space, and I moved some directories to like a solid state drive. I feel like this is probably going to bore the three people left are leaving now. But I moved it to a solid state drive, and then I disconnected the drive. And then when I started the OBS thing, nothing was working. And of course, it wasn't working because I moved the stupid files. But then I had to find them and put them back, and it was so stupid. It's just one of those things that happens sometimes. So yeah, I'm a dum-dum, and that's why you all waited. And it's my fault. I take full responsibility.
And Istophobos says, let's not talk about Lindsay Clancy. And you know what? Deal. I have no interest at all in talking about that child murdering crazy person.
I don't feel like talking about her either. Listen, I've been seeing all these things that there's people that love her and think it's great, but that's really, I will say this. I don't know for what purpose. I don't know if he's trying to, drum up a campaign or thinking of running for something else because he's not running for mayor anymore. But Spencer Pratt actually did a pretty interesting video also mentioning that and showing how there's all these bizarre people now that they're like cheering on evil people. And he said a lot of things that I thought were pretty interesting in that video. It was pretty well made. I don't really know what the purpose is. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason why he's doing it. Either he just wants to be now like sort of a pundit of sorts, or just a guy that talks about, world events and pop culture and stuff like that, which I don't mind.
He's got a following now, right? Because, of everything that happened, with him running in that campaign. So now he's got a platform, people to talk to. So maybe he just uses that platform to kind of share stuff a little bit more often, communicate with his audience, and maybe that turns into something. Maybe it turns into a different campaign for something else. I don't know. I have no interest in talking about that crazy person at all. There's far too much coverage of her, period. So
I think that as long as what's his face? As long as he lives in LA, I don't think he can run for anything, at least not a senator, not a mayor, not anything, not governor. Nothing is going to happen good for him, I think, in if he lives in California. After what I saw of this race, whatever happened there, I'm confident that like those things that it's a lost cause, whatever's going on there. Like I don't think that realistically a Republican can, or somebody that's not a far left or whatever it is, I don't think they could get elected at this point because
anyone who isn't just hardcore leftist. Well, and even more than that, there's also just the issues, structural issues there with how basically they can manipulate the vote in any way they want. So
there's no oversight.
If you're not the chosen immaculated candidate, you're not going to be getting in. So yeah, it's bizarre, everything that's going on out there. But hey, California's falling apart, and they got what they earned, I suppose. So
I suppose. Yeah, Price, that happened to me. This is from the real head case. Price, that happened to me on Mark randomly 2 weeks ago. My drive disconnected itself, and then my VTube avatar couldn't find OBS. Yeah, it's an annoying situation. It's so stupid. And the worst thing is that you're about to go live, and you're just sitting there, and you're like, okay, let me just go and do this thing. You think you're clicking two buttons, and then nothing works. It's really a downer. But yeah, it happens sometimes. What can we do? And California, don't get me wrong. I'm sad about California. I probably have mentioned this before. When I was a kid, and I'd say that I lived in different places and moved around some, but there were 2 years of my childhood that I lived in Los Angeles, and I really, really liked living there during that time.
Oh,
Of course,
it's
I was a
it's I have not been there. My wife's been there. I have some friends that live there. I have some family that lives in the more deserty part. You know? But it is unbelievably beautiful, right? Just seeing pictures of it, gorgeous. I know people that live there. Say the weather is always nice. It's wonderful. Yeah, you got to put up with the various things, fires and mudslides and stuff like that. But this, on balance, it's amazing. And I also know just from people that I've known and people that have told me, about different parts of California, that it's full of amazing people, beautiful people. Just wonderful, wonderful people that unfortunately are outnumbered by the psychos.
Well, when I lived there, I didn't feel like it was a cycle. I'll tell you this, even as a kid, when I think about it now, there were some people, Los Angeles and in some area that I lived, there were some like phony people or whatever. They have their thing going on. They didn't invent like some of their local culture and behavior. They didn't invent that today, but nothing like these delusional weirdos that you have there today. Like I think that still it felt like a nicer place to live there at the time, and as a kid, I really liked it. I remember this because I lived there as a kid, and we had like we lived in sort of, it was like, what's it called? When there's a house but there's two floors,
Mm-hmm.
like two families but are living on two floors. Is it a duplex? What is it?
Yeah, duplex is one word for it. Yeah.
Duplex, two family home, whatever you want to call it. So we were like on the upper floor, but there's also access to this kind of garden outside. The weather was really nice. It was such a nice place, and I remember just all my interaction, all my everything I did there as a kid had a really like good vibe. It didn't look like the dump you see today in the videos and all these weird people, and it didn't look like that. Sure, as a little kid, it's not that I would walk around the streets by myself every second, but I would be taken to a lot of places, and it felt generally like a good place. And it seems so different now than it was then, and that's really sad to me because I did like it as a kid,
Yep.
for
Well,
whatever that's worth.
decades of one party rule and progressive soft on crime policies. They're all having their effect, and part of that is that people are leaving, and now not just people but businesses, multi-billion-dollar businesses, including perhaps uh, movie studios.
Yep, that's also happening. Which, by the way, final anecdote. Not that anybody cares, but this is quote unquote lore. I think that my first accent was actually something that resembles whatever people speak in California, because I was young, and that's I think that's how I used to speak. But then I was on the East Coast. I was in New York, so then
Hmm.
that changed. But then I also was in different places, and at some point I was also not even in the country. So uh, that's why nobody can figure out my accent, I guess. But
It's this. It's the poem says, "I never saw a car fire till I moved to California. Saw one a week there for years. I have seen car fires, but not that frequently." Actually,
absolutely.
the worst car fire I ever saw, a car broke down the side of a caught fire and started an enormous brush fire that burned thousands of acres. It was awful, but
And
yeah.
quickly, and then we'll move on because we talk about nonsense anyway. So I'll just tell you this. I think maybe once on the Night Owl I told this story, and I'm not sure. I mean, there have been this is like the 262 episodes, so it could have been that once I told this, but it's not one that I've told often, and I don't even remember if I ever told it. But I was for work in more recent years, maybe like 10 years ago. I was in Los Angeles working for something work related, and I was there, and I was there for like a few weeks and staying in some place, and I had to go to a meeting or something like that, and I woke up and I had something like a strep throat or whatever it is. So in situations like that, you need to get usually antibiotics as quickly as you can. And I used whatever I could, like insurance, whatever. I went, and like there was a doctor not far away from where I was staying, and I just went, and I'm like, okay, I'll do a quick appointment and get, do the thing and everything. So I go there, and as I arrive there, this lady sitting like behind the computer, the receptionist, I give her my name and I give her my information and all that, and she says to me, "Hey, do you still live?" And she gives me some name of a street and some address. She's like, "Do you still live at this address?" And I'm like, "I'm not from here. I don't know, why would I be living at that address?" She's like, "I don't know. You're listed in the computer in my system. Do you still live at that address?" And I said, "Wait a minute. What address did you say again?" And she tells me the address, and it's an address that I lived at as a kid, maybe like 30 years earlier.
Yeah, you're in the system, buddy.
I I'm in the system. I'm like, "No way.
Oh,
No way. Like,
no.
why do you have this? Like, how do you know where I lived 30 years ago?" And apparently, and I don't know, I tried to get all this information because I was just shocked by it. It's like I didn't even remember. Once she said it, I remembered because it made sense to me, but I didn't understand it initially. And she said something along the lines of that I was once in a hospital because maybe I hurt my arm, or I don't know what there was something there that I guess like they still left that in the database 30 years later for this random person to look at, and she knew what had happened to me 30 years earlier. It was very spooky. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was just really strange. But yeah, so
Yeah.
it
Oh,
is
yeah.
weird. The real
Yeah.
Headcase says, "Is that weird that they can pull up old addresses from 30 years ago?" It's not. Listen, it's not that it's impossible, but it just I don't know why it shocked me at that moment. I just wasn't expecting it. Maybe because, during those days, I didn't know that people even enter it anywhere. It seems like somebody had to update these files later or type them in at a later time. Or maybe I'm wrong. They already like had it into databases and punched it in even then. But it just I don't know. I've never I've been to places in New York or whatever. I've never had somebody said, "Hey, do you live at this address?" and start giving me address like from decades earlier. It's never happened to me before
Yeah.
or after. So it is what it is. But yeah, interesting. The system never forgets. Absolutely.
And no, it does not. Unless they want it to. And
They've
then
been
it's
digitizing everyone's record, especially medical records. Yeah, no, apparently
mhm,
they have been doing that. And
mhm.
but it's just strange because it's like I almost forgot that I lived there. Like, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I did live there." But
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, if you've ever had, when you have to like apply for credit or something, or you're filling out, stuff for, uh, loans, whatever. It's always so weird because they pitch you these things to like make you prove you are who you say, or like, which of these addresses did you live at? And you look at it and you're like, oh my god, I barely even remember living at that address.
Oh, yes, that's
What is?
happened to me before
Yeah,
too.
what is it? I don't remember living there, and then it's like, I don't know. Your
There was
responses were not correct or something. I'm like, what? No, oh yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I lived there for a year. I lived at that at that apartment for
that
1 year.
100%. 100% that happened to me. I don't remember where it was that I was asked to, like, verify something, and like you said, they say, Which of these addresses have you never lived at, or have you ever lived at?" And then they give 3, like, streets. One of them must have been something from, like, 20 years earlier, and man, it was something like you said, I lived there maybe a year. I didn't I mean, once I looked at it, it started coming back to me, but it's not an immediate thing. It's like it's not something that really I was thinking of unless I started really because out of the 3 options, I couldn't recognize one, and then I'm like, "Ah, okay, it has to be this one, I get it now." But yeah, they do that sometimes.
Mhm.
In any case, strange things happen, and
Strange things
interesting to
happen.
see how it all works out. Uh,
Uh,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on. First of all, I want to say before we dig in, because I don't know, lanterns is going to be a whole thing that we're going to
Yeah,
dive
maybe we can
into.
hold off on that lanterns for a
Hold
bit.
off, hold on for a few minutes. I wanted to say first of all that you have this Avengers Endgame encore thing, where I guess the Russo brothers say, in order to understand Doomsday, you have no choice but to go watch this new Avengers that they're putting in the theater, because there's going to be 4 additional minutes, and without them, you won't have the context
Yep.
for Doomsday.
The words were required viewing.
And
I do believe. And yeah, that's okay, so one more piece of homework. In fact, I saw your exchange on
right.
on
It's
Twitter
annoying.
with someone being like, well, just don't watch it then. And it's like, but it says it's required viewing. Like the directors have said, you have to see this, right?
Right.
So they've said that, and then they've said, oh, well, you also need to go watch all these other movies and TV shows that came out over the past, 14 years.
It's such nonsense.
It's like, oh my God, are you serious? Wow.
It's
No.
bad enough that I'm one of the only people on earth that have watched every single stupid shitty thing that they've released since Endgame, and that now I'm being first of all, up until Endgame I saw everything, but a lot of that was at least like decent, ranged from decent to good. Some of it was like iffy, but it was still overall a decent experience. But since Endgame, most of it has been utter crap, and I watched every single thing. Every single thing that Marvel has released since Endgame, I've watched it. And now I'm being told that all that shit that I watched, sorry, Sean, is not worth anything, because now I have to watch Avengers Endgame again, where they shove in 4 minutes of quote-unquote context to explain to me Doomsday.
Yeah, that there's going to be 4 minutes of utterly invaluable content that they've added into this film. I got to be honest, somehow I don't believe them. I don't believe that what is in this is in any way required viewing. I would bet that anyone who goes to see this, they're going to be like, that 4 minutes was meaningless. It didn't mean anything. Right?
Well,
we saw Doom walking up and crying in front of a picture of his mother or something, right? Like, that's going to be it. So yeah, or we're going to see him living his life, with Peggy or something. Like, I have no clue what it is they think they could have shot. They're going to squeeze into 4.5 minutes of whatever, added into this movie that's going to be that valuable, when they're going to tell a 3-hour movie that comes out in December that's going to be 3/4 of it is going to be filler. Right? So I have a hard time believing that they've made anything that's all that valuable.
I tend to agree with you, and
I'm just gonna wait for it to leak online, because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen the opening night. Someone's gonna film it, and they're gonna stick it on Twitter, Reddit, something. So
yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to pop up somewhere, or full descriptions of it at the very least are going to pop up, and we're going to be like, yep, that was worthless.
Remember, they also said that Captain Marvel was required viewing.
Oh, Captain Marvel's required.
It was required viewing, and we watched it.
Both seasons of Loki. Yeah.
Well, that's for this one. I'm saying
for
before
this.
Endgame.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. Yeah, you're right. Before Endgame. Yeah,
they said
you're right.
that was
Captain
required
Marvel.
viewing. If you went into Endgame after Infinity War and you never watched, Captain Marvel, would it really make a difference?
No.
There would be some woman that we don't know who she is, but nobody cares anyways, and she does something at the beginning, and then kind of never even hear from her until that ending cringe scene where it's like, girls get it done. They don't say girls get it done, but you know what I mean. We've
got her or something, and then it's just
she's got help, yo.
Yeah, she's got help. Yeah, it's a nonsensical scene. It makes no sense. She's strong enough that she can go toe to toe with Thanos. What is the Wasp going to do to help her out? What is yes, any of these female characters, like what are they going to do to be able to actually help out against that? It's just the silliest scene.
Yep.
But No, yeah, the whole thing with Captain Marvel. Oh, you got to see this is going to be it's going to feed in. It's going to be so so important, required viewing for for Endgame. It's going to set everything up, set nothing up. It was a complete bait and switch. The only laugh I got out of it was a laugh of her sitting around waiting for a CD to load on Windows 3.1. Like
That was pretty
that was
okay.
funny. I laughed at that. The rest of the movie, I sat there going, "Why am I here?
I couldn't agree more.
This is terrible."
It really felt like a misfire when I watched it. Like, when I was watching and I was thinking to myself, "This has to be, like, the worst, MCU movie I've seen to date." And I really felt that way. It's not that I'm saying that just to be cool now. I just felt like nothing was coming together. And if you think about it, that was sort of like the level, what you would see after Avengers Endgame with all the crap that we saw afterwards. Most of it was on that Captain Marvel level. The only reason Captain Marvel like, again, we always think that there's something fishy about those tickets to begin with, but the only reason why it possibly made money, let's just humor them and say on its own, is just because when you have two of the biggest movies amongst the biggest movies of all time, and it's set up in a way that, you're told that you have to watch this in order to understand the final chapter of all of the MCU, like until that moment with Endgame, they just suckered a lot of people into going into it. I also think there was something strange with the tickets, but regardless,
Yeah, I think there was definitely something screwy going on with ticket sales.
true.
Fishbulb says, "How are they going to build up Doom in one movie while also juggling screen time for 50 heroes? Because they're just going to tell us how dangerous he is. They're not going to show us. They're not going to do anything to actually prove to us that he's dangerous. They're just going to tell us, oh, he's so dangerous. Oh, he's scary." And then he's going to use some magic to resurrect some Sentinels and kill some X-Men. That's it.
Yep.
But he's scary, yo.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. And I guess now they had this trailer today, but I looked at the trailer and it didn't show anything new. From
No.
what I can tell, there was no new footage in the trailer. They're just like, "Oh, come watch this again." Man, I don't know. Like, it just, I don't know why this annoys me, but it's like, why are you're trying to squeeze more money out of people before showing us this other cash grab that you're doing? Like, isn't the cash grab that you're now doing enough? Why do we need this other cash grab? Which is quote unquote required viewing.
Got to grab that cash.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have like what's it called? A monthly pass. So if it's free for me, I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm not going to be enthusiastic, but maybe just for whatever, just to know what it is. Maybe I'm not even sure. Like, I'm still toying with the idea of not going at all, even if it's free. But I don't know. I guess when we get to the moment, I'll think what I want to do. I'm not excited though. I really don't even feel like sitting there for all those hours and watching this movie again. Uh, I did enjoy it for whatever it was back in the day when it came out, but there was so much goodwill for me after like a run of movies that a lot of them I liked, that even if that movie was flawed, there was just like a cinematic experience that I enjoyed. But a lot of time has passed, and we've gotten so much shit since then. It's really hard to me to be as enthusiastic. It's kind of like what happened to me with Star Wars. Like, I really like Star Wars, and I will always consider them, especially the original trilogy, wonderful movies. But I'm going to be honest with you, Professor. Since those sequels and all those terrible shows and all that, like, bastardization of the source material and all that, I don't really sit around and watch Star Wars much. I don't really watch the original trilogy. I don't watch the prequels. I don't really watch much of anything. Maybe one day something will happen, and I'll kind of like forget the stench of like all the Disney stuff, and maybe I'll be like, okay, I want to watch the original trilogy. But now it's very, very difficult for me. They managed to ruin my goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
It's one
Agreed.
thing.
Agreed.
It's one.
I think they've done that to a lot of people, Bryce.
I think
I
so
do.
too. I mean, the thing is that, you could say what you want, that you can, I have my friend Nick, who's with us on TV shows Revisited, and he's like, "Well, I like to pick and choose," meaning, "Okay, well, some things I do like, some things I don't," and he's always, like, so forgiving. I'm not mad at him. Some people, they're that's the way they are, and he's like, "I can still like it. I like to pick and choose. If there's a project that I like, I like. If I don't like it, I don't like it," and things like that. But I can't pick and choose, and I can't ignore things. If I saw the Obi-Wan series and he was a bum, the next time I watch the prequels, I've seen Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi being a bum. If I watch the original trilogy, I've seen Luke Skywalker as a bum. I've seen Han Solo as a bum. So it's really difficult to go back and say, well, let's pretend you never saw them as bums. It's hard because I did see them as bums. So how would they not be bums now? So the only thing that Mark Hamill has going for him is that he looks drastically different today than he did in the original trilogy. So at least in his case, I can in my mind pretend that it's a different person and that he's not the Mark Hamill of today. But it's tough. It's tough. It's not. It doesn't have the same magic as it had because I saw it being destroyed that way.
Hmm.
I don't know how it is for other people. Some people can just ignore it, and that's cool. It's just more difficult for me to ignore it.
Yep. It's difficult to sometimes to just, look away from that stuff. I don't have a trouble. I can still go back and watch the original Star Wars and enjoy it. I don't have a problem with it, but I understand. Like, yeah, you've seen it and you can't unsee it, kind of a thing, right? I've seen what happens. I've seen where this leads to, and now that ruins things for me. I mean, I genuinely, I tried to go back and watch some Doctor Who, but watch some of the older, not the older series, not the original series, the older episodes of New Who, and we got to David Tennant, and I just couldn't watch it.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
used to love Tennant. I love many of the stories that are told during that period, but man, he's ruined it. He's destroyed his legacy as the 10th Doctor.
I had like a good opinion of him. I genuinely
Yeah.
liked him, and that's the part that's the worst. Also, I'll say this, and this is why I also think that Mark Hamill is like is so stupid. He's such an idiot because sometimes you're in a unique position where you're just like a beloved icon, and everybody really likes you, and you can only ruin it from there. Meaning, Mark Hamill, up until maybe 2015 or 2016, 17, whatever that was, Mark Hamill would go around, and anybody that would see, hear, or think of him would think the most positive thoughts. He was Luke Skywalker, and everybody, if you'd say Mark Hamill to me, I would immediately think something positive. Like that's already built in. Maybe he doesn't even deserve that, but I would think only good things about the guy because that's the image that he had. That's how much people like Luke Skywalker, and fair, whether it's justified or not, that fondness applied to Mark Hamill as like a cinematic icon, a character that everybody loves. And it's a unique position to be in. It's the type of position where you could go and you could actually use your presence and your image and everything to maybe bring people together, to do stuff that's fun, to bring fans together. It's such a great situation to be in. And what did he end up doing? Going all day bitter and blabbing and whatever. And I don't really care. I've always said this. I don't think politics are the most important thing in the world. I don't love politicians, and I've said that on many occasions, no matter which party they're from. Obviously, in more recent years, there's a certain party that seems really unappealing to me, if you know what I mean. But
Hmm.
at the same time, I don't hate somebody that does this, does that. As long as people aren't bothering me, I don't really care. But him, it's not a situation that he's like, well, somebody asked him who he voted for, and he's like, I'm going to vote for that guy, and maybe it's a guy we don't like or do like or whatever. It's nothing like that. He goes and he whines and bitches all day in such an annoying way. He went to the White House to stand there on the podium and whine. It's like it's bonkers insane. It's completely over the top and unnecessary. This man needed I've never seen a man squander not only like so much goodwill from the entire world for what? For what did he squander it? And what did he achieve? What's his big achievement in going around and whining like a bitter old jerk? What does he benefited from?
Uh, no idea, honestly. Oh,
I see.
oh, sorry. Had a message.
No, I just got a weird message and I was trying
Oh,
to
that's funny. I got a weird message too. They're unrelated. I'm quite certain.
No, I don't think they're related either. Let me see for a second.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. Nuts. All right. Something happened that annoyed me, but I will not let it bother us now.
Okay.
Uh, in any case, what was I going to say? Yeah, so he squandered his goodwill and he's stupid,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. But you know who had pretty goodwill? This is a strange segue, but you know who did was an icon and had a lot of goodwill from a lot of people?
I believe you're talking about the amazingly talented, wonderful person, Dolly Parton.
Yep. I think that you know, she was the type of person that was the real deal when it comes to crossover. I think that she managed to establish a presence, whether it be in music, crossing over styles, and also in movies and things like that, and just an overall kind of public figure. I think that this lady throughout her life, I don't recall, you know, many stories that people are sitting around hating on her. I don't think that every second she went and she bothered people about everything. I don't know. I wasn't sitting there listening to every word, but I never felt that she was like a Mark Hamill. I think that she seemed like a nice person that liked other people and was always very open minded and trying to get to know people and be nice to people. And I think that's the image that she had, that people genuinely felt that she was just kind of a down to earth, nice lady. And as opposed to a lot of the ladies that we see today, you had situations in you know more recent years where suddenly she'd do a performance with like Miley Cyrus, and I would kind of get annoyed at that. Nothing personal. It's not that I am sitting around hating on Miley Cyrus, but it would kind of annoy me because I thought to myself, Miley Cyrus was born like, you know, sorry to, I don't know how to say it, but like with a silver spoon in her mouth to a guy who had like millions already, who was already in the industry, and with that she was able to like build a career. They were able to set that up for her from a young age. She doesn't have the talent that Dolly Parton has. Why is Dolly even like giving her that kind of credibility? But that's the world we live in today. I think that Dolly was the type of person that, you know, started with nothing and really built herself from the ground up. She knew how to write music, she knew how to perform music. She also did it at the time when there weren't all these like, you know, tricky, you know, auto tunes or things like that. She was the real deal. And to break the barrier of country music and also go more into the mainstream and just become this national figure that everybody knows and recognizes, a real kind of like American icon. I give her a lot of credit for that. And it's not that I myself listen to country music every second, but I did like her. Even as a kid, you know, even if you didn't listen to country or didn't know much about it, you knew who Dolly Parton was. It also felt that way for me for like, you know, Kenny Rogers as well. Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, those were names that like, you know, very much kind of went into the mainstream. Not
Oh,
only
yeah, they very much did. In fact, she's one of very few artists who's ever had a song charting on multiple charts at once. You'll remember the film 9 to 5.
Yep.
The song that came from that, of course, 9 to 5, charted at number one on both. I believe it was both pop and country at the same time. It was
Yeah.
extremely popular, and yeah, I remember that song. I remember the movie. I remember my mom loved it. Right? It was one of those. She was she crossed genres a lot. She was not only an incredible singer, she also acted, did a lot of a lot of performances in films. Of course, she had one of her most famous songs was, eventually not didn't become as famous being performed by her, but became famous being performed by Whitney Houston with "I Will Always Love You."
I
So,
don't mean to cut this wonderful tribute, but I have to answer this. Somebody wrote Mark Hamill is far from being bitter. That's just nonsense on Price's part. The only thing he hated was how Ryan Johnson wrote Luke Skywalker for TLJ. That is not what I was referring to. When somebody who is, posts pictures of like children in stormtrooper outfits, and he has things to say that he's like being a jerk to them, and only because they're the grandchildren of the president, which he doesn't like, that to me starts to feel like he's become a grumpy, bitter jerk.
and
Do you
he's
get what I
out there
mean?
telling people to go force themselves
Right, right.
because they
There's
don't share his political ideology. That's
that
a real dick move.
he was sitting at a convention and he said that if you're this and this, then you can go forth yourselves. He's basically putting up signs at the convention that he wants like $800 if you want to take a picture with him, or I don't know what it was. And meanwhile, it was something obscene. Like it was some rates that like you couldn't believe for a signature and a picture or whatever. It was like insane money that he wants. Meanwhile, he sits at these kind of same places, and half the people that came to see him, he takes a dump on them. And they like him so much, maybe some of them forgive him for that. But I personally think that that's not nice, and it's not what he should be doing. But yeah, Dolly Parton was nothing like that. Sorry, go on, Professor. And by the way, Rumpel, I want to thank you. Rumpel has apparently recommended our stream to its viewers, and we're always very grateful for that. If you're watching this on the Rumble app and you haven't yet signed up, you're just kind of have it on your TV or whatever it is, and you're just flipping through. It's almost like watching channels, and you're watching our stream. We appreciate that you're watching us, and that's awesome. But it would also be great if you want to go and sign up for Rumble, because it's the only place where you really have freedom of speech, and you want to support that. And you can open an account for free. There's also premium, but you can open the account for free and then follow us, and then you'll always be notified when we do streams, and that's what you always wanted. Uh, Go on, Professor.
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, she had a big career not only in music, which she had many albums. She's known to have composed over 3,000 songs. That's wild. That's quite the career. But yeah, had multiple chart topping hits over the years. And she spent many of her later years just as a businesswoman, running Dollywood and producing stuff, and as a philanthropist out, just trying to make people's lives better, which is amazing, right? Like so many people that uh, even people with lots of money don't don't spend time actually going out and trying to do anything to make people's lives better, right? And another thing I have to really a lot of people don't know this, but in the past year before she passed, she spent an extreme amount of time caring for her husband, who was dying. And she even said like that she had kind of ignored her own health over the last year before she was recently diagnosed with cancer. Which, if you haven't heard, that was the cause of death. She was in a cancer center dealing with not only was she 80 years old, but she was fighting cancer, and that was what eventually led to her death. But her husband, Carl Dean, she has been married to since 1966 till his passing last year.
Right.
That is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Not only is she someone who's in the spotlight, so many entertainers do not cannot manage a relationship, cannot manage a marriage over, that over even a period of 10 years. The number of Hollywood, stars, Nashville country stars that have had 6, 7, 8 marriages by the time, they're her age. And she's been married to one man since 1966, her only marriage. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, and that she's like an old school entertainer, and I mean that in the best possible way. Now that somebody like her has passed, you don't have people of that caliber. I mean, uh, there's that famous story. Even though over the years she's kind of clarified a bit of it. For many years, it was basically reported that she wrote "I Will Always Love You" and "Jolene," two really solid songs, which became huge hits from her, and then later from Whitney Houston became an even bigger hit. Uh, so basically, she apparently wrote them in the same night or something like that. She later clarified that she didn't know if it was the exact same night, but it was pretty much she had like a cassette where she recorded a few songs that she was writing, and they were all on that cassette. Meaning, it wasn't like 5 years apart. It could have been in the same few days or something like that. But to have that kind of skill that you could just write, kind of churn out iconic songs like that, and just sit there with a guitar and record onto a cassette all this kind of stuff. It's a testament to the type of talent she had. I think a lot of times today, people say, "Oh, like women this and women that, and feminism and this and that." Most of these ladies that we hear on the radio today, a lot of them at least, they don't even write their own material. They sit with like 70 producers in a studio and produce some piece of garbage and release it, and then they put like 70 effects on their voice to mask the fact that they suck. And yeah, and then at the end, you just hear some piece of shit. Sorry, Sean, and that's what they have to show for it. And as opposed to that, Dolly Parton was the real deal. Like she really had it all, and she was able to just really seemingly do anything. And along the way, you'd think that somebody maybe that started off in such humble beginnings and really built this with her own two hands, maybe the success would go to her head. Maybe she would be rude and arrogant, whatever, like these young people that you see. But I don't think she ever did that. I think that she went out of her way to be very nice. I think that I don't know why I saw this in one of my feeds. I think that Eminem, who himself is is kind of like in recent years, he's kind of eh, you know, he's become very political and preachy and annoying
Hmm.
in many ways. But putting all of that aside, he shared some letter that she wrote him. That I guess she met him at this rock and roll Hall of Fame. I don't know what they. I don't know why they would give him. He's a rapper, but who cares? Like, let's not focus on that. They gave him some award, and she wrote him a letter saying that she's sorry that she didn't get a chance to speak with him at the event, and that she's very fond of him, and he's super nice and whatever. And like it was such a nice letter that she wrote him, and that's the kind of person she was. Like she really, at least by all accounts, anybody that's interacted her with her or met her considered her a very nice person. It's a story that you heard many times that people considered her kind. I'm not saying like maybe there were times, maybe there's such certain professional situations, maybe there was a time that she got upset or somebody annoyed her. Nobody could be nice like 24/7, but as close as you could get to that with being this kind of celebrity, I think that Dolly Parton really uh, rightfully had this kind of very positive reputation. Like you said, a woman that married her husband, stayed with him all those years, wasn't
Hmm.
one of those marrying every 5 minutes a different guy, wrote her own music, did her own thing, did a multi-talented, always kind of kind, never seems arrogant anywhere that she's interviewed or things like that. Generally looking to be inclusive, and I mean that not in the weird DEI way inclusive, but inclusive in the sense of whoever it is that was talking to her or wanted to do something with her, or even she was working on a project with. She was nice to that person, no matter what their background was, where they came from. She seemed really open-minded in that sense, and yeah, I think that this is a real loss that we don't have figures like this today. These kind of people that are just transcend everything and bring this kind of positivity. We don't have that anymore, and it's sort of, I don't know if to say it's a dying breed or whatever it is, but it's kind of sad. And forget about all of that. Ever since we were kids, Dolly Parton is like an institution. You just know she exists. And you kind of think that she'll always exist. It's like when I saw it, I was sad initially because it's like somebody that's always been there and she's always there. And you think like, "Oh, she's not there anymore." And even if you weren't listening to her music every second, or you weren't like didn't have all of her albums or all that other stuff, she's just like an institution. And her not being here feels like there's something that was in your life all these years that's now not there, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah. Sort of a yeah, just a constant presence in the in the entertainment space. Yeah, she's just been around. Like I mean, come on, the lady wrote 3,000 songs,
Right.
and they've been performed by not just her, but many other, uh, many other artists. And yeah, it's
Right. I mean, the
yeah,
thing is that there's men that haven't written 3,000 songs. Like 3,000 songs is a lot of songs to write. This lady was like a writing machine. She just sit there write song after song. Uh, like I said, a lot of times I think that women, uh, some people are like, well, women can't write songs. Obviously, this proves that women can write songs. Maybe there's something about women that they're discouraged from writing them. I don't really know. I can't really tell you for sure. But for me, Dolly Parton is an example that if a woman wants to sit there and write a bunch of songs, she can do it. I mean, people say that like Taylor Swift writes songs, but the problem is the Taylor Swift songs aren't very good. She doesn't have one like Jolene
no,
or like I Will Always Love You. She doesn't have that kind of she's not on that level. Most of her songs are like I like I said, I've said this before. Taylor Swift has released like, I don't know, of already like 10 albums or whatever it is that she's released. I can't remember, and they play her music all the time. Aside from like Shake It Off, which is a song that Between You and Me is a piece of shit
it's
song. Sorry,
awful. It's a
Sean. This
terrible
Sean
song.
awful piece of shit song. I'm not gonna. Is it fine? Little girls like it or whatever, but come on, it's a piece of shit. You have that, and what else do you have? You have like and I always try to remember. Okay, you have that one. You have the one that she's on the bleachers watching You Belong to Me or whatever it is, and Blank Space. Those are like her three songs. And like I could barely, if you forced me, I could probably kind of sing something out of them. But like they've been played so many times in my presence, and most of the time they just like enter one ear and leave the other one. Like nothing stays from that music because it's just so generic and vanilla and shitty. You compare it to like big songs, and this is again stuff that she wrote in the same day. You take like Jolene or I Will Always Love You. They completely destroy Taylor Swift's catalog in like 20 seconds. And she's had a lot of other good music, good songs. She's also the type of artist that maybe if I'd see her like perform a song that I don't know, which I sometimes see on programs or things like that, I'm like, I don't know this song, but I would still watch it and enjoy watching her sing it because, she was that type of artist that even if you don't know the song, just her very presence makes you like it.
Yeah,
So and Taylor Swift doesn't have that. I don't think her presence is good. I'm not. This isn't just me trying to bash her, but I'm saying I'm comparing what people think today because she started in country. She's sort of a crossover. Everybody likes her, but in no way, shape, or form they're not similar. Not her and not Miley Cyrus. Both of these ladies had their careers bankrolled by their family. Uh, so I'm not as impressed. And both of them, their writing is mediocre and they don't have that kind of pedigree that Dolly Parton had. They're just not in the same league as her. And unfortunately, that's just what we get with music today. I don't think anybody's in the same league as these type of greats that are slowly passing away and leaving us. There isn't a strong enough generation to replace that type of talent, unfortunately.
very true. I don't think we have anybody who can help replace that talent now. We so much of the music industry now is just so manufactured. It's algorithmic, right?
Yep.
It's not really based on talent. It's not the cream rising to the top, right? It's marketing teams looking at people and their following on TikTok or so, other social media platforms to see like who's gonna be the one that's gonna help us maximize the marketing potential for this particular person. And it's less about them actually having a unique vision or talent or anything of that nature.
Dude, Rosef, I think there is price. You think there are people that are of this caliber? I don't know where they are. Oh, they're just not being cultivated and promoted. Okay. Maybe there are people that are talented, but yeah, I think that back in the day, somebody with talent, at the end of the day, there would be people sitting, whatever offices and whatever jerks were running these industries, at least they understood that I don't know if to say they understood talent when they saw it, but at least some of them did. And I think that back in the day, some of the more talented ones did rise to the top. I'm sure that even in the past there were people that were very talented and they didn't get to those places that they could have gotten to. That does happen. It takes a lot to get to that place. But I still think that back in the day, when you were a professional singer that they'd put on the radio or things like that, you'd have to have something. You couldn't just be, some I'm not saying that from time to time maybe some imposters were let in, but for the most part, I think you needed to have something to offer. And I think today the ones that are in the mainstream, the ones that the labels want to push and all that, it's all very corporate and very kind of vanilla and generic and crappy. And that's very unfortunate. I mean, the other thing is, and this I don't want to take away from Dolly Parton here, but I will also say that the industry since the year something like 2000 or 2005, I would say, made a
Mhm.
conscious effort to basically push aside rock and roll, which was primarily, I mean, there's no other way to look at this, primarily straight white men were in that category. And somehow the industry really worked very hard to sideline that character. We talk a lot about this, and I've said it before about kind of this DEI or woke or whatever it is that happened in entertainment from 2016. But I would argue that, music may have been the first one that really was hurt by this kind of strange agenda, maybe for reasons that were more businessy. Maybe not all of them were like DEI related, but the outcome is that they pushed aside most of the straight white males and put all the ladies that sing for little girls or guys that sing for little girls too, but don't really seem, I don't know, I don't know how to explain this, but not as kind of, I don't know if not to say not as masculine. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they kind of sidelined that or hip hop. They kind of let that happen. Uh, I don't have anything against different styles of music. I've said before, old school hip hop, there's stuff that I like there, and I don't hate the genre, but I don't like the fact that they just like sidelined a certain genre because seemingly of the people that were doing it that they didn't like. And I actually think that that was probably the, I don't know if to say ground zero or patient zero, whatever you want to call it. That for me was probably the start of it. Next, and this is a part that I didn't really pay much attention to during those years. You had maybe comics, then you had video games, and then I think in 2016 they started with the regular movies. All of this was gradually happening, but I think that 2005 music, 2009, 10 probably comics. I want to say maybe some years later they started video games. I don't know. You know better the exact year that they
Mhm.
started with the video games. And then I want to say, is it 2014? When did they start doing weird things in video games?
Oh gosh. Yeah. 2016, 2014, 2016. I'd have to go look and see.
This is my
Um
timeline. Music 2005, maybe even sooner, but 2005 it really felt like a shift that you could feel it. 2010, I'm gonna say comics. 2014, I'm gonna say video games. 2016, just everything else. And and yeah, nobody stopped it. Nobody stopped it. And back to Dolly Parton here, I just think that she was the kind of thing we do want to see in pop culture. the kind of personality of a celebrity we want to see, the kind of person that actually has talent, that really made something of herself on her own and built that, with her real talent. That's what we want to see, but we don't get much of that anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. I would say probably, yeah. Somebody mentioned Gamergate. Yeah, that's probably when it really started hitting in gaming. That was 2014 was when that happened. So
Right.
yeah, that's probably around there. Yeah, it was when that happened, and that's when we got the rise of psychos like Sarkeesian and stuff that became a major part of the industry. And although it takes a few years for some of that, those actual games to come out, for the actual things to be published, but that's when things really started to move for gaming. And Fishball mentions, 2013, beginning of Obama's second term. You're correct. That's absolutely was when we started to see a lot more of this stuff become prevalent in society at large. Yeah.
Yeah, and look where we are today. We see the result of all of this, and it's a concern. There's so many people today. I never thought that in the United States there would be people that were brainwashed to hate the United States and hate everything and just have such a distorted, I don't know if to say moral compass, or that they like people that are clearly bad and want to do bad things to them, or people that have done very bad things that are there's no denying that they're bad, that they just, they're trying to
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, they're trying to, empathize with people that are bad. I guess, yeah, they have that whole suicidal empathy or whatever it is that they keep mentioning. But
Yep.
yeah, it's very, very strange, and it's sad too. And it doesn't seem to be heading in a good direction. How do you stop this? How do you make it stop? And I don't know. The damage has been done, and it's very hard to reverse the damage. I don't know what's gonna happen. It doesn't look very positive. We can only hope, but it seems like there's a lot of, this kind of mentality also can eventually just, destroy. I don't know, it sounds very serious, but destroy this country from within. Oh, that was heavy. I don't know how I got here, Professor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, we have somebody over on Rumble who's very upset, saying that our shit sucks, and who would watch this. Uh, Lil Pampy, buddy, your one test stream from 9 months ago versus several hundred episodes of us sitting here talking about this stuff, with hundreds of viewers. Thousands of viewers actually. You can just suck it, buddy. So see you later.
It's fine. Listen,
Oh, we're not presuming to be anything. I don't think we're big. I don't think we're special. We're just two guys, and some friends hanging out together, talking about whatever the hell we want, and that's what we do. And we're not going to apologize for it. This is fun, and we're having fun with the people in our chat in doing it. So
Little
yeah,
Pampy, is that his name?
yeah,
Little Pampy has the right to say whatever he wants, and if he
yep.
wants to say that he doesn't like us, he can say that. I don't have a problem with it. But again, everybody does whatever they are passionate about doing, and yeah, if nothing else, we are consistent, and we've done this show for a long time, and maybe it's not for everybody, but I think that there are enough people that tune in regularly that do like it, and those people are very important to me. So, sometimes, maybe somebody will listen to something, and it is for them. It's not for them. I don't know what Little Pampy likes to listen to. I don't know what his interests are, what his hobbies are, or what he likes to do in his spare time. But you know what, Little Pampy, thank you for giving this stream a chance, and we wish you well. Uh, See, I've
Look
grown
at
as
you
a
being
person, Professor.
diplomatic.
I've grown as a person, Professor. Uh, Professor couldn't believe it. This is like the nicest I've ever been.
That's the nicest price has ever been to anybody. I don't understand. I'm just kidding. Just
You know,
kidding.
you know why? You know why? Because at least, let me try to absorb something from Dolly Parton, who was always nice to people,
There
so
you go.
we could
That's
try to be
yeah.
nice as well.
Could try and be
Even
nice as human beings to people for one day in memory of Dolly Parton.
e we can even be nice to Little Pampy.
Even
I
little
love the
Pampy.
name, it's a great name, Little Pampy. It's so wonderful. Where is
Yeah.
he, by the way?
I think he's bounced, and that's fine with me.
That's fine.
What didn't block him or anything. Yeah, didn't delete
No,
his
it's fine, he can
comments.
say whatever he
Just
wants.
yes. Yeah. Um. Oh, we got some super chats, buddy. We need to read those out
Oh, okay, okay, let's
on
do that, let's
YouTube.
do
Yeah.
that. Okay, hold on one second. So, yeah, we have 2 super chats, and let me I'm gonna now open them. 1 second. Only the best technology.
We also we did get a raid over on Rumble from B-roll Stage. They were re-showing one of their B-side streams earlier this evening, and
Oh,
so they raided us when that wrapped up.
we
And
like B-roll
so yeah,
stage, and yeah.
Adam and Babs showing or re-showing an earlier, premiering it on Rumble, and yeah, rated us afterwards. So we appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
I Will Always Love You, Try Not to Cry? I don't know
I Will
exactly.
Always Love You, the song.
Yes.
Dolly Parton, and being try not to the listening to that song, try not to cry. Yeah,
It is a very
it's a
very
very
sad
emotional
song.
song. I honestly, I much prefer Dolly's version of it, but I understand why Whitney's version of it was so incredibly popular. She has an incredibly powerful voice, and her delivery of that song was fantastic. Yeah, it was a very very powerful song, and
This is
very moving.
This is
Yeah,
199 from the Real Head Case.
yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much for the chat, and nice to see you here. Also a channel member. Always good to see him here. But yeah, I mean, whether or not you like Dolly Parton's version or Whitney Houston or both of them, I think it's a nice situation where you had, one of the most prolific female songwriters writing a great song, and one of the best singers of her generation performing it. The fact that it would be so successful is not a surprise to me. But yeah, both versions are good. Uh, Whitney Houston had this it was like a golden voice in terms of Dolly Parton was nothing to be ashamed about with her voice
Mm-hmm.
as well. She had a very unique voice, and she knew what she was doing too. Not taking away from Dolly Parton, who was a great singer, but Whitney Houston, when it comes to the more kind of soul or whatever you want to call it, she also once in a generation talent. One of the best singers of I don't know, probably decades, many decades.
Yeah.
Really great. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that that song did well. I've always liked both songs. That's a song. It's funny that in The Bodyguard, I think initially when they're at the bar, they're listening to a man singing. Like there's like a version where a man is singing it, and it's like playing in the background. And then, you know why they did that? I think because if they would have played Dolly Parton's version, it wouldn't have had like it wouldn't have been the same. I think the fact that it's just some cowboy singing it and then she does it her way, I think that it's better because people would hear Dolly Parton's version and already like it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I I think that the way this thing works is they're in a bar and this version that they hear is kind of corny or something like that. And she's like, oh, this one's kind of corny. But I think that if they played the Dolly Parton one, they couldn't get away with saying that because I think that Dolly Parton's version is nice. So they had to have like the lesser version. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well. If
Yeah,
you
I get it.
remember the scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, part of Whitney doing that song was the bodyguard
Yeah,
part.
part of it was. I mean, the movie was big, and it helped the song be big, and the song got big, and it helped the movie be big. Yeah, it's some entertainment synergy there. So yeah,
Sometimes a movie could help a song. Back in the day, that was a thing. Today, I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but there's plenty of songs that I could tell you that were helped by movies. Huey Lewis and the News, The Power of Love, it's a good song. It was very much helped by Back to the Future.
absolutely.
That was a big deal that it was in the movie. The fact that until today it's tied to your mind. Also, the song Ghostbusters, which in and of itself, Huey Lewis sued Ray Parker Jr. That's a whole different thing. In any case, the song Ghostbusters, that was very much helped by the movie.
Oh
Even like
yes, absolutely.
songs that aren't that great, like Cyndi Lauper, "Good Enough for You" from the Goonies, very much from the Goonies. Without the Goonies, I don't know that people would even remember that song. Then you had Kenny Loggins with "Footloose." You had
Oh yeah.
Irene Cara with "Flashdance." Again, some of these songs are genuinely good, but the movie certainly helped them in a lot of cases.
Yep.
Uh,
And
so
then there's songs like "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal, that Pure Blood based Berserker mentioned.
that's the song Elvis wanted? I don't
That's
understand.
what Robot Head said. I don't
What did he say?
He said that's the song Elvis wanted. I'm not sure which song.
Maybe "I Will Always Love You."
I Will
Did he
Always
want
Love
that
You.
song? Maybe she didn't give it to him. Oh, you know what? I vaguely remember a story that I think Dolly Parton said that Elvis wanted the song, but then he's like, "But I want, like, to get all the money," or there was something that she didn't like about it, and the deal didn't end up taking place. There was something that he wanted that she couldn't give him, and it shows that she was even a shrewd businesswoman, that he's like, "I'm Elvis, I wanna do your thing," and he's like, no, sugar, I'm not doing it," and that was it.
Elvis reportedly wanted to cover it, but the project fell through when his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, sought half of the publishing rights, and Dolly Parton declined.
Pretty
Yeah,
ballsy, by the way.
yeah, yeah. I mean, admittedly, by '74, uh, she was pretty big already, right?
Right.
She really didn't have to say yes at that point.
Shout out to
But
Robot
still,
Head.
like, yeah, Elvis is like, that's the big time. Yeah, Elvis wants to cover your song, but yeah, he wanted to keep half the rights.
He was
Colonel
Elvis. I
Tom
mean,
Parker.
it's not that I can't understand what he wanted on a business level, but yeah, I mean, she felt that she was worth more than that. By the way, I sent Robot Head a message, and I'm sure that by Monday his time, which is tomorrow, he'll see it. So yeah, I sent him one. What what was I gonna say? That by the way, somebody asked if I had a Dolly Parton story, and unfortunately, I never met her, and I don't have a Dolly Parton story. I really regret that because that would have been great. I don't know why when somebody asked me, the only thing I was trying to think of, and the only thing I could think of was Julie Andrews. Uh, I did I met her once. I mean, it wasn't even. I didn't even exchange one word with her. Did I ever tell you about Julie Andrews?
I don't think so.
So I was at some event, and she was there, and I thought to myself, like, how great would it be if I had a picture with her? Like, wouldn't that be great? And I really was excited. Like, I thought that was pretty cool, and I wanted to talk to her. But I started walking towards her, and there she was, maybe talking to somebody, and she seemed so kind of unapproachable. I can't really explain why. She had this kind of very stern face. She seemed very serious and not approachable. And I think she kind of looked at me. She saw that I was sort of in the vicinity or whatever it is, and she had this kind of weird look, almost like a signal of like, I hope you're not coming here to say hi to me or talk to me. And I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to respect Julie on this one. I'll just leave her alone. I'm trying to think if maybe somebody had taken a camera. Maybe this exists somewhere, but I would have to find it. This one would be really tough. I'm struggling to remember, but maybe somebody took a picture of me standing where she's sort of in the distance or something along those lines. So there may be a picture of like me standing not far from Julie Julie Andrews, but, yeah, didn't even say one word to her. She had a very kind of, like I said, it wasn't a welcoming vibe. I don't really know how else to explain it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, what can you
I
do? We
had
have
a
another.
I had
So
a friend who got a. This was many many years ago, but he had a picture from a con where he was like getting pictures with some guy who was in a Klingon outfit, and because he thought his it was really great cosplay basically. And after he got, this was a long time ago, right? So after he got the photos developed, Michael Dorn is in the background. So he's taking a picture of this guy with this guy with this Klingon cosplay, and Michael Dorn's like in the background, like sort of looking towards the camera. It was just extreme. But he's like, "Wait, that can't be him." I'm like, "No, that's totally him. He was at the con."
that's really funny. That happens sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, it was completely random. Like he just happened to be walking through and happened to look over.
You sometimes hear the situations. I don't remember what it was that, like, these two, I don't know if to say celebrities were sitting with each other, and one was like really known, and some lady didn't recognize him, and she's like, "Can you take a picture of me with this other person?" He's like, "Sure." And she didn't realize later that this person was actually somebody. I don't remember the story, and I've heard stuff like this over the years. This happens sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, I've had situations like that as well. I've had situations like that as well where I didn't recognize somebody. To be fair, though, if I don't recognize them, uh, well, there's a few things that could happen. First of all, sometimes if it's a more newer artist, like if it's somebody new or somebody that's like happening now, and I don't really rate them much, and maybe somebody would know who they are, but I don't, and I don't care. So that could happen. But there have also been situations that I didn't recognize somebody. Maybe they're just not as known to me. There was once a band that I was sort of, in a backstage area. It's a really long story, but basically, I knew who the singer of the band was, but I didn't know. I couldn't tell you all the people in the band. Like, I know to recognize the singer, but I don't necessarily like if there's a guitar player. I don't really know how he looks, or I couldn't even tell you that person's name. That happens sometimes with bands. Not every band is your favorite band, or there's a band that maybe you like a song of theirs, but you don't know every member. Does that happen to you that
Oh,
maybe you know?
oh, I wouldn't know every member of a band.
Right. So
No.
so I was sort of backstage in something, and there was a band, and I recognized whoever the singer was, and I was sitting there, and some guy was talking to me, and I was talking to him, and there was like beers there, and I'm drinking a beer, and and all that stuff. And then in the middle of the conversation, the guy is like talking to me about music, and then when I play this, I do that, and I do this, and I don't know who the guy is. And he just keeps talking to me about this and that, and when I'm doing this, when I'm doing that, and I said, "Oh, do you play professionally?" And he's like, "Are you kidding?" And I said, "No." And he's like, "I'm here with this band. I play guitar in this band that you're hanging out with."
Yeah,
And I said, "Well, the lighting here is different. Maybe I I don't know. I tried to get out of it. I didn't get out of it well, but it is what it is."
yeah. There's, gosh, I you mentioned that story, and now it's bugging me because I remember the story you're talking about, where somebody they were like they were with someone and they were like, oh, like so excited about getting a photo with this famous person, and they like hand their phone to another like really famous celebrity to ask them to take the picture. And now I want to find the story. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I remember that this was a thing, but I don't remember it. By the way, though, sometimes movies took a song that was kind of annoying and elevated it. For example, Robin Hood with Kevin Costner
Yeah, yeah.
really elevated that Brian Adams
That
song.
Brian Adams song. Oh, that song was played so much. Oh,
Too much, too much, and in a way, I think that I'm not saying that Brian Adams, like, exactly everything he did I liked before, but I'm gonna say this, Bryan Adams before that song was better than the Bryan Adams after that song, because I feel like once he made that song and made that kind of money that he made off of it, it became the prototype for every song that he would do afterwards. Not that he didn't have his moments like this earlier, but in those earlier albums, if you look at, like, songs like Run to You, or Summer of '69, or there were things that it's not exactly the most edgy rock and roll, but it was something that was at least, all right to an extent in some situations. But after he created that song, that's it. Like, all you heard was that song over and over again. Like, he just find a new way to present the same thing to you. It's kind of like, although I will say that Aerosmith back in the day were better, early in the '70s or whatever, they were legitimately pretty good. But I'm saying, like, Aerosmith also at some point they had that song. What was it called? Not Crazy. The one, is it Crazy? Not They had a few of
Oh,
them. Now I can't even tell the difference. They had the one from Armageddon. They had "I'm Crazy for You, Baby." Uh, I feel like there's one that I'm forgetting. They had a few
um,
ballads.
oh yeah, like later on.
Once they did that one ballad and it did well, they would not let it go. And until today, their whole career has been from
It
that
was,
moment.
yeah, there was. I don't want to miss a thing. That's the one from Armageddon, right?
Yes, but before that, there were other ones. But don't want to
There,
miss a thing.
are you thinking of crying?
Crying. That was it. I was
Crying
crying when I
when I
met
met
you.
you.
Now I'm dying to forget you. It's so lame, Professor. I mean, Steven Tyler's a good singer, but man, is that shit. Man, is that
It's
a shitty
terrible.
song.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And it's like they saw suddenly all the money coming in, and they're suddenly like in the prime time, and all the ladies like it. They're like, okay, okay, forget about that rock and roll stuff. What more can we do? So the next one, they're like, I'm crazy, crazy for you, baby, or whatever
Hmm.
that song is. It sounded like the crying song. Like, you could stitch them together and you wouldn't even notice. They sound like the same shit. Sorry, Sean. And then like, after they had two of these that made a lot of money, they had the big kahuna where that Armageddon movie said, could you write a song for Armageddon? And then they're like, okay, whatever we did, these two songs, we got to take it a step further. More cheesy, more schmaltz, cheesy shit, more. And then they said, like, they turned up the cheese meter to, like, 11 out of 10, and churned out that I don't want to miss a thing.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, really,
man,
if you're talking Aerosmith, you want to be like, what's real Aerosmith? Like, what's Aerosmith before they sold out, right? If you
right.
want to put it that way, that's probably, I think, what's the name of Permanent Vacation?
For
That
me,
that I think is, if you want like real stuff, you got to go back to the '70s with all the like blues riffs and stuff.
that's
Toys in the
that's their
Attic and
best
stuff.
time. No doubt that the '70s was their best time, but I will say this: uh, if you forced me to, in the '90s, I think their final song that at least was released that was tolerable was "Living on the Edge." Not great, not a great song, but it was tolerable. It was like the one before they did with I Was Crying When I Met You. I think that the one before was "Living on the Edge," or around that time. That was the only one that from that batch of recordings or whatever it is that was at least somewhat tolerable. That's all I can say. Cuz it had something. Even that is cheesy. Even that is cheesy. Like, the verses are already like heading into the crying territory, but it still has like the chorus, because it's like, there's something wrong in the world today. I don't know what it is. Something's wrong with our eyes. Something like that, right? And then you have "Living on the Edge." Something like
Yeah.
living on the edge. I can't stop myself from crying. It was already stupid then. They're like, they're with one foot already about to go into those cheesy, shitty songs, but somehow that song is like, if you put it on, it won't annoy me as much as those other ones. That's the last song that they played that wasn't a complete disgrace. Again, not great, but not a disgrace.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
that's
think.
true. That's
Uh,
true. Edward Furlong, aka John Connor in Terminator 2, was in the video. That is true. He was in the video
mhm,
for Living on the Edge. He's kind of
yeah,
like driving a car, and there's all this stuff going on. I don't remember a lot about it, but I remember him in the video, and I remember the song, and at least
yeah.
it
But
was
that was on the album "Get a Grip" with "Crying"
right. But what I'll say is this: they
and
recorded that.
"Crazy."
Okay, they recorded that album. Now, when you record an album, you don't know what's going to happen. Okay, they recorded it probably already thinking, how do we appeal to the ladies with some like schmaltzy tracks? Maybe still somebody said, hey, between all this crap, maybe we can do this Living on the Edge song. People can at least maybe listen to it. It's not as embarrassing in the other two. And they're like, okay, let's do a few things here. So that it was like a little bit of variety. They had a few black ballads. I think that they may have started. I could be wrong. I think that the first song that they released may have been Living on the Edge, but I could be wrong. I thought that was the first one. And then the second one was like Crying. And once Crying was that, they're like, okay, the next one has to be Crazy. And then that's it. You never heard a good song from them again. It only became ballads, like the same
Yeah.
ballad over and over again. Same with like Brian Adams. He later was trying to like emulate that success with Robin Hood. He's like, have song,
Oh yeah, like all of his songs after that, like seemed
please
like he was
forgive
trying to do
me.
it. Yeah.
That Please Forgive Me song annoys me. That I don't know why. It's like it's fine. I mean, yes, a man could do something wrong and he can say like, he's sorry, but man, the way he says he's sorry in that song feels like it makes me feel uncomfortable. Like it's too much. It's too much, Professor. You could say you're sorry and not be such a I don't want to say a bad word. Yeah, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
What was the yeah, what was the cuz yeah, he had the big hit with Robin Hood. Don't want to miss a thing. And then like he had like a big one after that, or he tried to have a big one after that for that awful Three Musketeers movie.
Oh, okay. So what they did was they basically said, okay, he did the Robin Hood movie, and the Three Musketeers gives that same kind of vibe. How do we bring like Brian Adams to do it? But somebody said, can we do like even more cheese? How can we like turn up the cheese even more? And also they said he already did the Robin Hood. We don't want to copy it. We want it to be like the next level of cheese. So I think that they brought, is it like Rod Stewart and Sting or something, and they sing it together, and they're like,
Yes,
and
yeah,
it's
it's all
all
three of them.
for one and one for love.
Yeah, All for
Man, is that
Love was
cheese?
that
Man,
song.
is
Yeah,
that
I was
cheese?
looking it up because I was like,
Fucking
what
cheese,
was that
Professor.
song? It was so bad.
Man, was that shit?
And yeah, again, it was trying to it was basically trying to be the same thing, that everything I do it for you. Like it was trying to be the same song over again. But yeah, they brought in it was Adams and Stewart and Sting, all three of them singing it together in that power ballad style. It was so bad. Man, Headcase is really getting his money for this $1.99 super chat.
Yeah, this is like the best, money. I don't want to say it's the best money he's ever spent, because I'm sure he spent it on better things. Even $1.99, he spent it better than us rambling about how cheesy Brian Adams and Aerosmith are. But we do have like another super chat.
Yeah, and then there's another one after that
Right.
from Kamchi Kamchi as well. So yeah.
I'm gonna capture that now, and I'll show this to us. So 1 second.
I love the people in the chat singing the songs.
And it's all
for one and all for love.
It's so annoying. I remember the video of all three of them standing and singing it. It's so crappy.
And then they had, they cut in footage from the movie, which was terrible. That movie was awful.
I seen it only once many years ago. I can't tell you for sure. I think that as a kid, like I probably didn't hate it, but I don't remember it. I assume that if I watched it today, I would think it's stupid. I do think it's funny that Charlie Sheen at least was in the movie. At least if nothing else, I liked of that era, and I just don't hate them now. Charlie Sheen and Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes. And Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell is like the weirdest part of that. But who? There's another one. Is it like not Oliver Platt? Who's another one?
Oliver Platt. Yes, is Porthos.
It's very strange casting in this movie.
And then
The
and then Tim Curry playing the Cardinal Richelieu.
At least listen, the casting wasn't the worst cast I'd
No,
ever seen.
I love Tim Curry. Tim Curry can play anything he wants. He can be Cardinal Richelieu if he wants to be. But it was just, yeah, it was so weird. It was such a strange casting of all of these different people together.
It was very strange, but I will say this: I think that like Kiefer Sutherland and Charlie Sheen, because they're like overall like character is like that they're kind of assholes, but in a good way. And those years were like prime asshole years for them. That they're probably behind the scenes like doing recreational activities, downing like a bunch of like alcohol and who knows what. And I kind of like that. So at least there's something there that you could like. The movie itself, it's kind of forgettable, but I do think that the cast was at least likable. It's something. And and there's one thing that I once saw an interview with Kiefer Sutherland that I think that he said something along the lines that like they all did training because they wanted to be like swordsmen or whatever, and Charlie Sheen just like fudged it. I don't know, he was like drunk all the time or who knows what. And then like he was saying that even though Charlie Sheen like didn't even know what was going on and didn't do any work and was just like lazy, everybody ended up loving him or whatever it is. And I think that Kiefer, he was jokingly saying it, but I think he was saying it kind of annoyed him that at the end everybody loved Charlie Sheen so much who like didn't even put in the minimum effort. But yeah, I mean Charlie Sheen has that type of personality that you kind of are happy to see him, even if like you could tell that this was some paycheck that he was collecting on the way to meet his supplier, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
So
He had an appointment.
had an appointment. Yes, he had to
Yes.
meet up with some important people. So yeah, we have this from Kamchi Kamchi, who $5 and $5. So it's $10 for Kamchi Kamchi. Let's go over this. Blame education and social. That turns out to be a cult as well as cult taking over politics, entertainment. All I know is prayers and learning the hard way. That's fair enough. People are learning the hard way. With most are angry with New York mayor, and I warned about also Paramount moving would be good to get away from crazies. F. Taylor, she crazy. Yes, I generally agree with everything that you wrote
Yeah.
here. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean this thing
Yep.
with by the way, if you already mentioned it, this thing with Warner Brothers, there was supposed to be, I guess, a meeting where they talk about the try to get to a settlement, but then I guess that weird guy, the AG from LA, from California, said that they acted in bad faith or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then he didn't want to do the meeting, and that he will do it, he won't do it. I've been reading articles also that claim that a lot of people that are like these kind of tech companies, maybe even like a Netflix, allegedly have bankrolled this AG guy, and they're purposely just doing this as a form of sabotage. It's possible. I wouldn't put anything beside any of them, but I really hope that they stop with this. I think that at the end of the day, this deal is going to go through one way or another, and this guy in California is just being a jerk.
Yeah,
I,
Bonta, he really wants what I mean, we all know what he wants. He
he
wants
wants
them
them
to
to say that they
divest
won't take
CNN.
CNN. Yeah,
He
they don't
wants
want
them to
CNN.
divest CNN. So, because they think that they're they're going to destroy one of their favorite left leaning media outlets, and
You know what?
they're very
If I
scared
were
of that.
Ellison, I don't know if Ellison is going to cave here or not. But if I were Ellison, I wouldn't back down. Like screw them. I would want all of it. I bought it, and now shut the fuck up. What? Now they're going to give back, CNN. I would get really annoyed by this. I wouldn't want it. Also, I think that part of the reason that I'm going to go out on a limb here. I feel like part of the reason probably Trump was happy about this deal was because of the CNN situation. I do think that that probably had something to do
Quite
with it.
possible.
So now I'm not saying that anybody could do anything bad to them if they give up CNN, but I don't know. Could cause problems for them.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think they have a leg to stand on with this actual trial. The only thing that's going to hurt, it is going to hurt the deal, specifically going to hurt Paramount Skydance with the these ticking fees that are going to kick in here in about 2 months, early October. that's when they have, I guess not 2 months, a little over a month, where they have, they're going to have to start paying almost $7 million a day, if this isn't settled. And so that's where they think they've got Paramount Skydance over a barrel. And I was sharing here real quick. We also got 5 Price of Reason Live gift memberships from Fishbulb. So thank you very much,
That is
Fishbulb.
very kind of you, Fishbowl. We really appreciate it. You're giving the gift of price to other people.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds lame. I'm like Aerosmith. I'm like Brian Adams, Rod Stewart, and
Yep.
and Sting. I'll tell you what, out of the 3 of them, at least I can say Sting at some point did some cool stuff. That was a very sellout moment for Sting, and I don't know why he found himself doing that crap. Maybe they just offered him a lot of money. Rod Stewart for me has always been like I know that some people like this guy and are very enthusiastic about Rod Stewart, but honestly, he's never been my cup of tea. Like from a career spanning 50 years or something or more, like 60 years, he has maybe 2 songs that I could barely listen to. One of them is I don't know why. Is it called Young Turks? Is a strange name for a song, but I think there is a song like that. Young Turks. Yeah, it's. I always thought he used to sing "Young Hearts Be Free Tonight," but maybe he sings "Young Turks." I don't know. Young hearts be free tonight.
Yeah, it's Rod.
Time is
That's Rod
on
Stewart.
your
Yeah.
side. That's the only one I could sort of put up with. It's like
so the phrase "Young Turks" is not actually in the song. It is "Young Hearts."
okay.
Yeah.
So, but what do they call the song?
It's Young Turks. The name of the song is Young Turks.
But then in the song they say
but
Young
the
Hearts.
lyrics are Young Hearts. Yeah, Young
See,
Hearts
I
Be
knew
Free
it. I
Tonight.
knew it. It's such a strange. It's a shitty name for a song. You couldn't even name it properly. And then when he says that, all I do is think of that plump guy that is annoying. But never mind. And his nephew. But I don't want to think about that now. Let's not even bring up. Let's not even summon that kind of energy. That's what I think of when I see that stupid song.
Yeah.
The title at least. But yeah, I mean the song itself, it's a decent song. So that's like tolerable. I'm trying to think of like there's one other song that I can tolerate. Even one. It's very cheesy, and the only reason maybe I can tolerate it is I was maybe as a kid doing something, and I remember it. It's like associated with memories, even though I don't especially like the song. So there's like some guys have all the luck, some guys have all the pain. If you were here with me, na 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 play.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's kind of a shitty song too, Professor. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's kind of a piece of shit as well. But yeah.
Yep.
And that's like his best. That's the best that Rod Stewart has to offer with like 70 albums.
And that's not
the
even his song.
Oh, it's not? Who wrote it?
It was originally the Persuaders.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't even know that. Some guys have all the luck is not even him.
It was not his song. Recorded by Rod Stewart in 1984. It was also covered by Robert Palmer in 82.
I see. All right. Well, that makes me feel better because that was the only thing that I semi-tolerated. And then I don't know. And then I guess so. Yeah, Young Turks is the only good thing that he's done. Because that, if you think I'm sexy song, can't stand it. I've never liked it. Not like in any decade. Not as a kid. Not in anything. I have never liked that stupid song. That is just like an awful song in my opinion. Sometimes you have the song that becomes a hit, and I can't take away from the success of the song. You obviously succeeded with it, but man, is that a crappy hit. Like I don't. It's the song that like if somebody puts on, I'm not happy. I prefer not to listen to it. Like I've told you this before that I once went to like a place that buys used records and CDs, like a store like that sells used and buys used. And I had a bunch of CDs, and I was trying to get some money, and I brought a few things, and I had Rod Stewart unplugged, thinking it was worth maybe $5, and the person saw it at the store, and he said, I'm not making this up. This is real, and I told you this before. I brought it, and he didn't want it, not for anything. He's like, I have nothing to do with this. If I buy it, nobody's gonna buy it for me. I'm like, come on, somebody must like Rod Stewart Unplugged. It's like, no, I'm not buying it. Not the people
Mm,
that come here.
no, no,
Not the people that
not
come to
this,
this shop.
not this shop.
Not this shop. And I'm like, no, come on, come on. You're just hardballing. Like, what you want, like $4? He's like, no, 0. Like, I don't want this thing. It was like a matter of principle for the guy that he didn't want the thing. I don't know if at the end like he thought of giving me a quarter or not. I think that I ended up just taking it and going home. I don't think he offered me anything. It's either nothing or a quarter, but it was something that he absolutely didn't want. I don't even think he offered the quarter, honestly. I'm trying to remember, but I can't remember 100%. But the bottom line was he was very unenthusiastic, and to me that highlighted what the overall thoughts on Rod Stewart was. To be fair, this was a
He's
store
like, you know what? I got some spindle adapters here. You can have those.
because the thing is, I think this was a store that was maybe in a more hipster area that they have
Yeah.
like cool music. This wasn't cool to him. He doesn't know anybody that's cool that's going to go and ask for this, and it really cemented what I thought about him. Like I always felt that, and this experience was a sign for me that says yes. Well, all your suspicions were true. How's this also the kind of like a goofy look and weird, no, it's fine, but you know what I'm saying? Kind of a goofy look and weird voice. A guy that sounds like he should have maybe not been a singer. Yeah, but I'm not trying to be mean. If you like him, it's great. I mean, he's had a very
Yeah.
long career. Had a very long career.
Some people love him. I don't really know why, but yeah.
Echo 32 Echo 7 is asking a really good question. This is a very, very good question. Why did you own it? Why did you own it in the first place? And I'll tell you the
gotta
truth.
answer.
I got it as a gift. Somebody thought like, "Oh, I'll buy him a gift," and they bought me this thing thinking that I'll like it. Uh, it ended up being a gift that I didn't like. I appreciate the thought. I appreciate that somebody said, "Hey, I want to buy something," and that's what they bought. Who knows? Maybe somebody bought it for them and they regifted it, but I don't know. All I know is that I was given it as a gift, and I said to myself, "I'll give it a chance," because during those years, a lot of unplugged came out that were good. Even sometimes an artist that you're not 100% with, they do a good unplugged, and you're like, "This is pretty cool." There were a lot of good unplugs during those years. You had Eric Clapton, which really opened the door to a lot of these unplugs. You had like Pearl Jam unplugged, Stone Temple Pilots unplugged. I remember even like other stuff. It's been a while. It's been a while now. I'm sure I've seen a lot of pretty good ones during those days. Nirvana unplugged was pretty cool. So I thought to myself, maybe at least it'll be decent. And I opened it and I put it on, and then it was awful. I couldn't. Yeah, I don't know, hot legs, if you think I'm sexy, all this kind of like forever young and all this shit. This fucking shit, Professor. I couldn't even get through it. I don't know if I listened to the whole. Maybe I once put it on and tried to listen to the whole thing, and after that experience, I knew that I had to unload it like a hot potato.
Didn't even want to touch it.
Didn't want to. I didn't want
Kept
to.
it in the sleeve. Kept it in the bag. Like, let's
Absolutely.
get this thing out of here.
Maybe Little Pampy likes Rod Stewart.
Could be.
If he's still here, you can
Could
ask
be,
him.
Yeah, maybe he likes Rod Stewart.
I bet you he likes Rod Stewart. That's maybe that's why he left. I'm just kidding. He left earlier, but you know what I mean. Oh, Clapton
Alright.
is. I don't know what the rest of that. Am I supposed to say what he is? Clapton, in my opinion, I think he's talented, but I will also add a comment that I think that Eric Clapton, in those few years that he was in England doing stuff on electric guitar, he was ahead of his time. He did some stuff that like not everybody were doing, and that's what kind of put him on the map. But when you kind of zoom out and look at music history, I don't think that he's as great as maybe he was during his time. I think that when you zoom out and look at it more, I've always thought he's not awful by any means. I don't think that he's like he's terrible or not a good musician or anything. He's obviously fine, but we've even talked about here before that I think there was one time they went to a club where Jimi Hendrix in London was playing. He saw Jimi Hendrix and like quickly left, not because because he knew how good Jimi Hendrix was. And I think historically also, Jimi Hendrix, even if you put something on today, I can be like, wow, that guy was, you know, ahead of his time. I don't know. Okay, I know how to sum it up. Jimi Hendrix was like 20, 30 years ahead of his time in the things that he was trying to do with guitar. Eric Clapton was about 3 years ahead of his time. I think I've managed to. This is the best explanation that anybody's ever given, Professor. Like
Mhm.
pundits have tried over the years to think how to explain it, and I've managed to now explain it in the best possible way. This is like an award-winning explanation, in my opinion, of course. Uh,
Sure.
how did we get here again? Remind me.
We were talking about. Oh, well, I think we got led down here by a super chat or some chat in the
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah,
I guess we
somebody in the
can.
chat.
We've done everything we could to push the inevitable a bit forward here. So we kind of, I guess maybe now is the time to dig deep into that awful lanterns thing.
Oh, lanterns. Oh, are we gonna talk about that? Well,
Yeah,
I guess the night owl should assemble then. If
we absolutely need to assemble. We need to assemble now.
are you gonna do it, or you need me to
Oh no, no.
do
Hold
it?
on one second.
Okay.
You're right. Let me assemble.
Yeah, you're. If you didn't see us in the chat, he's gonna have some words for you about Rod Stewart. I think.
Oh no. Sorry, Ista, if you like him. I'm not going to change my mind. I have nothing good to say about that guy. Except for I'll give him credit that he's performing for many years and, has a long career. Other than that, though, I have nothing good to say about him. He means nothing to me, Ista. Ista's going to be here in 2 seconds. He's already here.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Well, I like her very much. That was my Ista. That was my Ista impression.
Impressive.
No, you're spot on about Rod Stewart, but the songs you like suck just as much as his other stuff. You missed his 2 good songs, which is I'm Losing You that he did with Jeff Beck, and the
Okay.
ballad You're in My Heart, which I think is actually a beautiful song.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Mark, I send you a DM. I don't know if you saw it, but in any case, yeah. So I don't know which one. Jeff Beck, I don't think was a loser. But Jeff Beck is cool.
No,
so
it starts off da 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 da. My heart is fading. You can feel it fading. Like it wasn't. I don't think he wrote it. It was originally. It was like a Motown song. I'm boomering.
It's fine.
You're spot on about Rod Stewart, though. No argument here, man. But Young Turk sucks.
Bry Guy has rated us. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Thank you, Bry Guy. That's pretty awesome of you.
But I'd take Rod Stewart over Lanterns any day of the week.
I think that Rod Stewart can team up with the Lanterns as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, the songs that you said that I thought were okay suck. The truth is they're not the best songs, but because there's some kind of nostalgic memory tied to them, they get a little bit of a pass, even though it's not that I sit around all day listening to those 2 songs either. It would be a real rare occasion if I would put something by Rod Stewart on from my own free will. Maybe the only one out of those that there have been, and again, this is not something that happens regularly, is maybe just for the nostalgic reason, the Young Turks song, just because, I remember something, being young and being somewhere and the song playing, and it has that kind of association. But I am by no means saying that is like the best song I've ever heard.
Oh,
Let's not get confused here.
yeah, fair enough. But I got to tell you, Rod Stewart got dudes hella laid in the 70s. So I do have some fond nostalgic memories.
All right. Well, that's High Price of Reason and all. What's up? Hi, Bry Guys Gaming Corner. Thank you for sending people our way. If you're not already, check out what Bry Guy is doing. He sent us a raid our way, and that's very nice of him. So yeah, thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate that.
Hello, everyone.
What'd you say?
Hey there, Mark.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
I charged my power ring, so I'm here.
You remember to charge it. Perhaps you remembered that in canon that Pocket Universe is accessible anywhere. You don't have to go to a safe in your multi-million-dollar mansion that you don't live in.
That's the whole point of a fucking Pocket Universe.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I've got plenty of power rings.
Yep.
So and they're all charged.
I've got a couple of those myself. Yep.
This one is pretty small. It doesn't really fit on anything.
Yeah.
Like trying to my pinky, but
yeah.
There we go.
And
but
you didn't even have to be a Green Lantern for 30 years to develop the habit to not be incompetent.
Yeah, not be an idiot and leave it behind. Yeah.
Of course, I can I can generate constructs without using a power ring anyway. So see, like I can generate this Hulk hand, out of thin air and just
you're the
green. See, so
you're the bestest lantern ever, like Jon
Is
Stewart.
Is he the bestest lantern ever?
He's the chosen one.
He is the chosen. He's been ready to be a lantern for 30 years.
That's why all of that Tom King abusive crap's just window dressing. He was already chosen as a baby to be the bestest lantern ever.
Yep.
Just so irritating.
Now, is that in the trailer that I saw that you had posted?
Yeah.
That on that's in the trailer. Okay.
Yeah, the Guardians came and gave him his little magic juju when he was an infant. So none of that, which is very Damon Lindelof, whereas all the abuse and trauma is very Tom King. Like, these guys can't help themselves. They're just hacks.
No, I mean I don't know who was more angry, me or Estephobos or anyone else when I watched that second episode of Lanterns, and we did Sunday Night Geekery. I hadn't had a chance to watch it yet because it's on. I don't know why they're trying to preempt my show on Sunday night with Lanterns, but God, I'm just so angry. I mean, I was talking to some people where they were telling me that the show's not that bad, but I've never read any Green Lantern comics, and I guess I could see that maybe. And I kind of said,
if you've never read it, I can see how you think it's not bad.
Yeah.
But,
Professor, how's your white woman? Mark, how's your white woman?
Oh, how's
yeah,
how's your white man? Oh.
But those are especially cringe moments. But just they totally failed the characters. And Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan are friends. Yes, they have conflicts and they fight and they disagree, but it's just such a snarky relationship where they're so against each other, and Hal's not being replaced. I mean, they have more than one Green Lantern ring. Yeah. You don't share a ring.
No, you don't share a ring. If he were being chosen as a backup lantern, he would have his own ring.
This episode made it look like he was actually trying to kill Jon Stewart, because if he did manage to take off and fly, he would have died.
Was going to talk about that because he there's some absolutely ridiculous stuff in it. So I mean, we can Price, do you just want to pull up some frames from the show and we can kind of talk our way through it, since we didn't get a chance to do that the other day? Oh, Price has stepped away.
I think we gave him a seizure.
He'll be back.
He had a brain aneurysm watching this.
That's what
I mean, it was infuriating. I mean, the way they get the characters so wrong. It's one thing to geek out about what could a Green Lantern construct, or nerd stuff that we love talking about. But they basically don't understand the characters. And the Lindelof quote that was going around Twitter, I think Ista, you had sent that around too, with we want to read, make these characters our own and not have to follow them exactly, but you have to actually have some resemblance to the original characters. And this old broken down Hal Jordan who's fighting getting replaced by Jon Stewart, this storyline makes zero
The other
sense.
thing, all of the factions have the exact same goals, but we need to have conflict, so we have them fighting each other for no freaking reason. They're all trying to prevent alien invasion, although Raising Hope is actually working for the guy that he thinks he's helped saving the world against. So he gets to be an extra dupe at the end, because the benefactor's the Manhunter, and he set up the alien detection ring in order to spot the guys coming after him, early warning system, a tripwire. So he's basically got Macon eating out of his hand. But there's no reason all these guys are on the same side, ostensibly. So they shouldn't be fighting. They shouldn't be arguing. They shouldn't be assholes to each other for sure.
Yeah, it's very strange. So I'm gonna have to be careful here and just put some frames up, because there's some stuff in here that might get us kicked off of YouTube. If I accidentally show it, an alien Wang. That could be a problem.
Yeah,
but
like Peacemaker style nudity.
Yeah, Peacemaker, level nudity. Yep.
Let's not forget Hal is going through a metal detector. He has a crowbar, but he rips off a plastic.
It's stupid. Yeah, we'll get there. So he wants to train. The start of the episode is that he wants to show. He says, "John, you're going to learn how to fly." He wakes him up by throwing ice water on him, and so he just says, "You just do it. You just do it." So he gives him the ring, and he tries to fly, and he can't do it, but manages somehow to create a bird. This highly complex construct of the little sparrow or something, finch or whatever, that's flying around. And he's like, "Oh, what the hell is that about?" I don't, but he's not able to fly. But then the ring informs him that he has 5% power left on his ring.
No, 1%. 1%.
It said 1. Oh, he says 1%, and then he bangs it. And it says 5%. Yeah. So apparently it's like a
card gauge.
Exactly. It's like your old TV set. You can perform some percussive maintenance on it, and everything goes back to working properly.
I want to point out, my best friend's father was a Marine colonel. He was up before anybody every freaking day of his entire life. There's no way Jon Stewart is sleeping and Hal Jordan's already up.
Yep. So so he sends John to go get his sends him off to go retrieve his battery that he left back in his house. So those who don't know, we kind of already mentioned this, but in canon, they keep that in a pocket universe that they can access basically anywhere they are. There's been a few times where there's been, things that interfere with that and whatnot, but generally they can just retrieve that lantern whenever they might need it. And so he wouldn't need to fly back to his house. I mean, seriously, what would you do? You go off to a different galaxy in a different sector of the universe, and what are you going to do? You fly all the way back to Coast City to pick up your lantern?
He could have actually, which was the ridiculousness of it, right? And that with that 5%, he probably could have made it to Coast City.
But they show us later that he could not.
Yeah,
Why did he even give him this lesson if his ring? It's already established in the last one that he had to use most of what he had on the alien in the police station, and if his ring is low and doesn't have charge, why is he even doing this thing now? Why is he doing this whole training with him?
It makes it look like he's trying to kill him.
It seems like because if he had actually flown, the ring would have given out on him, and he would have fallen to the ground and died.
Right.
Not to mention 5% ring power gives you 3 seconds of hover time. That's useless. These guys are fighting intergalactic monsters for hours on a charge. Even that explosion shouldn't have used up that much power.
And my iPhone lasts longer.
It's like they're not even thinking about all this stuff. They don't care. It's the usual dumbness of Damon Lindelof and friends of this just nonsense that nobody's giving any
Right.
thought to this. It's like there's a few things. If the ring was about to have no power, don't even train him. That's obvious. And then even at the other thing that he's like, I have a one-time power up that I could just hit the thing on my hood with a ring and it'll give me 5%. That's dumb. What do you mean you can hit it? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you hit it on the hood of the car and it give you 5%?
This is the most advanced weapon in the entire galaxy ever made. The gauge would be accurate, and you don't need to knock it like the Millennium Falcon's hyperdrive, for fuck's
Right, exactly.
Unless it was on a Tesla, maybe that would give him more power.
sake.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
What happened to
exactly.
the video, Professor?
Oh, well, you may remember, Price, that there are some things that could possibly get you kicked off YouTube if you were to show them. And
Yeah,
so
well,
I'm going to very carefully pick some frames and just share them.
Yeah,
Oh, no problem. No
remember
problem.
Being very, very careful.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
Peacemaker style
next-
nudity.
Yes, yeah. So he sends John off to retrieve his lantern, and then he decides he's going to go investigate. And so he goes back to the football field where the killings happened in the previous episode, and he finds these metal detectors that are there. Which, by the way, guys, I don't know about you, but first of all, these metal detectors that they would use at an event like this are incredibly expensive. Do you know what they do when the event is over?
They remove
turn
them.
them
Take them
off.
away.
They take them away. They pack
Right.
them up and take them and store them. They don't just leave them sitting there.
Also,
rain.
why didn't he need the grill assembly or whatever that's called?
Yes.
Why
yes.
couldn't he just use the crowbar? Like the crowbar itself.
Well, that's the even funnier part is that the grill isn't even made of
Yeah.
metal.
I had that
Plastic.
model Toyota. That is 100% plastic.
Oh, every car now. That
Yeah.
part of the car, the grill right there,
It's always
that
plastic,
covers
yeah.
up the air intake is just plastic. There's
Yeah, his
no
belt-
metal there at all. It's just chrome and plastic.
Yeah, his
So yeah,
belt
the
buckle
tire
has one.
iron has 15 times the amount of metal that you're going to find in the little metal clips on the back side of that that grill. So it's incredibly stupid.
Yep.
See, he could have just taken the tire iron, but again, he already noticed that like he had a belt on that didn't set it off.
Yeah.
Right. Like, why
The
did he?
ring.
I mean, it's so dumb. Yeah, the whole like, we're just gonna rip the grill
It
off
was
the
just
car.
it was just to give a dig at John Stewart so that he could,
Yeah,
check your insurance.
being more and more
yeah.
nasty to Jon Stewart about it. So yeah,
Oh,
that was an incredibly stupid moment. And then he decides he goes back into town to go looking for everybody. And so, yes, this is the moment when we do get to see him flying, hovering, using his ring, and he's able to stay in the air for about 10 seconds.
Oh, I
Not
timed
even
it as,
that.
like 3 or 4
Yeah, but he uses it to fly up in the air so he can see. This is an incredibly stupid use of his ring power.
This
By the way,
reminds
for
me
how
of,
little
of
bit he has left.
Obi-Wan. This reminds me of Obi-Wan that he walked around that he didn't walk around the laser.
gate.
Like
Yeah.
he could have just walked a block and looked, and you would have seen it. It's a small town.
I
It's
mean,
like-
he could have seen the thing is, he could have seen that parking lot from where he was.
right.
He doesn't need to be in the air to see there's a parking lot over there with people in it.
It is the dumbest thing. I saw it and I couldn't understand it. It's like you have you have you have no more charge, and you're giving it to Jon Stewart, who would just die, as you said. It's almost like he's trying to kill him. And then the other thing is he himself uses as he's an idiot, and also 5%
He falls to
should
the
give
ground
more.
too, right?
What'd you say?
Well, he falls to the ground too.
Yeah,
and
he
he's
does.
Trying to
Yeah,
fly,
the,
right?
the ring starts beeping at him, and he falls to the ground.
5% should give more than him floating for 3 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, it should give him hours of full power fighting because the full capability of the ring is enormous. Even if it was only 1%, like let's say knocking it doesn't add more juice, it just, moves the needle, which is ridiculous in the ring. Even if it was just 1%, he should have a good hour of full power for that.
Yeah, doesn't the ring usually last 24 hours from?
Yeah, that's usually it lasts
that's
for at
the
least a
old
day. That was the old style, but then
Right.
the newer one.
Why doesn't he have the charger? Why doesn't he have the lantern with him?
Yes, yeah. As
Because,
Price, we were talking about that
Yeah, this
earlier. Yeah,
this show writes for the scene, not the story. So every individual scene has what it needs, that it doesn't have what they need it not to have, and everything is half this and half that. It's only the half that the scene needs. When you put all the scenes together, they make no narrative sense. There's no continuity. So they need Hal to be unpowered, and they need the two to be separated for this. So they contrive some ridiculous stupidity to make it that way.
Yep.
Nothing happens organically because they didn't create characters and then, let their interactions form the drama. They decided on the drama and then they just backfilled everything and did whatever contrivance they needed to make it work. That's why the show sucks.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean the ring, it just basic bad writing and something that can be, we're not nitpicking this. This is just terrible. I mean, he should have flown back and got, he had a whole day there, after the ring, he knew it was low up for that alien. Plus, usually in the comics, can't they just summon the power battery?
Yes,
I mean,
exactly. They
right?
can
If I
open that
remember what I've
pocket,
read.
that pocket universe,
and they just summon the
and they
battery.
can pull the battery out from there to recharge. Yeah.
Unless everyone in the town was an alien, there's no reason for them to stop talking when he walks in. This whole town meeting is also contrived and bullshit. They don't need to do that to figure out whether they're going to play the football game or not.
Yeah, it's all very stupid.
Yeah, but the whole town's worried because there's people who got killed, and should we have a football game? This is Nebraska. They're going to play football. It doesn't matter if people got killed. Okay,
I don't care if people died. Yeah.
There's also this element that he has to be a douche in every scene. And also, she's this kind of girl boss that's trying to do her job, and he has to show up in every place, try to bother her while she's trying to do a good job. He's like an asshole. And usually also, she knows everything. She's better than him. She knows everything. Anytime he's like, oh, I want to say something, she's already 7 steps ahead of him. There's no investigation that he did that's worth anything to her because she already knew it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed
this.
this.
What's her job? Her job is to doing nothing. What's the point of her? She says, do my job, but her plan is to do absolutely fucking nothing.
Right. She does nothing. So first of all, this happened in the first episode. In the first episode, he discovers that there's a guy standing there that's suspicious. So he tells Jon Stewart, and Jon Stewart's like, the right thing to do is to go tell her. So finally, Jon Stewart's like, I want to do the right thing and tell you that. And before he speaks, she's like, oh, you mean that guy's suspicious? I've already been eyeing him for a few hours now. And it's like you said, Ista, first of all, she does nothing. I said this in my review. It's so you knew there was a guy. There was just this deletion thing going on there. There's a dangerous guy potentially. You had a bunch of officers surrounding him. Did nothing. Just he stands there for 4 hours and you do nothing. You saw him, so you're quote unquote keeping an eye on him. What kind of police person is that? What kind of policewoman is that? That sucks.
Yeah, well, he didn't set off. He didn't set off the stuff, so I didn't figure he was an alien. Yeah,
it's not like you stop investigating aliens because the crime's finished. That's when you. Oh, also the 4 hours they're sitting there. That would have been a great time to fly back to Coast City and charge the ring real quick.
Right, exactly.
Because you're doing nothing but sitting there.
Yep.
I mean, if you had to go back home to bring that with that ring, I'm never leaving that power battery behind if I'm going anywhere.
Exactly. If it's not something that you can summon
in this world,
in the actual canon in the comics, then you would take it with you everywhere, especially if it's only going to last for 25 minutes on a charge or something.
Yeah, I guess in that show I was checking this, it was 48 hours that it hadn't been charged.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But you're not gonna, which is typically longer than normal, but I'm not going anywhere. I might get so paranoid if my phone goes below 50%, I go nuts. I mean, what about my power battery? Or my ring that's
he's been doing this for 30 freaking years. Too.
Exactly. Yeah, he would know. He would know how long this is going to last, how much charge he's got, how much, that would just be innate at this point, right? And kind of funny too, because of course, being having some range anxiety regarding the charge of the ring in some canon, the more recent canon, is actually the reason that Abin Sur ends up dying and Hal gets the ring.
Yeah.
Because he's flying around in a spaceship because he's worried about his ring running out of charge.
Yeah. Hey,
and him dying. Yeah.
Did you notice that in the first episode, Jon Stewart he gets handled twice by women who know more than him and give him to give up information while he doesn't realize he's being played the whole time. Grandma clocks him in the bar, gets him to tell her everything. He doesn't even realize he's being handled. Same thing with the cop. Even though he's the bestest Lantern ever, every woman in the show has his measure and has played him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just very frustrated. Yeah, very frustrated.
Yeah.
Then Jon Stewart, well, we were getting to it, but then he gets surprised. The Marine gets surprised too, right? So
yeah,
a few more frames.
Yes, So he flies out commercial. So of course it only takes him a few minutes to get there.
Yeah.
He flies commercial out to Coast City, and he goes to Hal's house, which is this giant mansion, right? And also remember, the bird is still with him, even though he's not wearing the ring.
How is that possible? Even how is that bird still there? I don't understand it.
Because he's the bestest, greatest Lantern ever. The ring is out of power too. There's nothing powering that construct at this point.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be there, but they're trying to say that even though he's still not as good, he's still not as good as a woman. He's the bestest Lantern ever.
So he can do. He doesn't even need the ring. He's so good.
Right.
He's so good. Yeah.
He doesn't need power or charge.
Yeah. And so I would say, so from the actual comics, there have been examples of constructs that have continued to exist after the ring lost power or after the user had their ring taken from them. But these are pretty much universally, they're not something that's like moving, fighting, flying, whatever. They're like, hey, I built a bridge, right? Or I put up some beams to keep a building from collapsing or something, right? They're not like living creatures that are flapping and flying around with you. Right. So it's definitely weird, right? He can just make constructs and they just fly around with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They are trying to tell like a chosen one type of situation here. I'm sure of it.
But
yeah,
in the comics, he doesn't need to leave the Lantern at his home in a kind of fixed location.
No.
Thing.
So
like that's not
here
how it
he's
works.
accessing it, and I can get up to that frame here in a second.
Sorry, yeah.
No, it's fine. But yeah, he's accessing that in a he finds in this, by the way, the giant house, right? And it's like he's barely moved into it. Like there's no pictures on the walls, none of the rooms are furnished, nothing's cared for.
No action figures.
No action figures, yeah. John is looking for the power battery, and this is actually where we see the closet full of suits. There's more than one. He has multiple suits. He has a couple of them that are in laundry bags, right? They're in garment bags.
Yeah, which means he's took excellent care of them. He's not disrespecting them. They are in dry cleaning bags, for God's sake.
Yeah, which is again still absurd. The suits have always been constructs of the ring.
Yes.
And the idea that you just have a uniform that you put on sometimes is incredibly dumb.
Yeah.
But here we are, right? So there's these beat up uniforms. So he does grab one of them and he holds it up so that he can see himself in front of it. Like he holds it up in front of himself. So, this is what I would look like if I were a Green Lantern. I was surprised they didn't have him just dress up in it, right?
We're just waiting for it. Yeah. Well, he's gonna be able to. Was that you that posted that? Is that he's gonna be able to make the power suit himself, right? with the ring, right? With his willpower, because he's the best Green Lantern ever. And I like Jon Stewart in the comics too. That's
exactly.
He's just such an annoying character in this show. I hate both of them in this show.
Yeah, never had a problem with Jon Stewart at all. When they did the cartoon adaptation of the Justice League after they had done the other animated series with Batman and Superman and so on. The choice of using Jon Stewart as the Lantern there, no problem with that. No problem at all. He's a great character with a really complex backstory and interesting relationships with other characters. And they got someone great to voice him too. And so I never had a problem with that at all. Jon Stewart's a great Lantern and a really great character. I hate that they are just assassinating his character in this. They're doing him just as dirty as they're doing Hal, to be honest. They're both being badly disrespected. But so he finds this. This is what you were talking about, Price. He goes to the safe that he gets into, where he's told that there's a pocket dimension inside that safe. You can find the lantern in there. So he's like digging around in this dark whatever to find the lantern. When again in the comics, this pocket universe is accessible basically anywhere. They can use the ring to kind of summon an opening in this pocket universe, and then they can pull their lantern out.
Yeah, it's like a D&D bag of holding. You can take
basically
it anywhere. And
So because again, you're a space cop. Are you going to leave your battery at home and you're going to fly 15 sectors away, light years away, to go deal with something somewhere else, and you're going to have to fly all the way home to recharge? It's a massively stupid idea, right? You would have to have a way to recharge on the go. So that's why they're able to access those lanterns wherever they go. So very silly. And if that weren't the case, they would just always carry their lantern with them.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, if it's so dangerous to have your lantern, what is Jon Stewart taking on the airplane?
Yeah.
And how did that get through security? Did he check? Did he check the bag?
Also,
listen, how is he not in jail for creating a 100-car pileup on an 8-lane freaking freeway?
Oh yeah. We'll get there.
Wait, we didn't get there yet. Well, hold your horses. But I will say this: how did he even get on the flight with a bird? Because he's like, you got to take the bird with you. I mean, people can see that bird, so he walks in, and just everywhere he goes, there's a bird with him. I mean, they don't understand how the bird. Why the bird exists. They just know that this strange man is walking around with a bird on a flight. I don't think that they would let that slide.
Oh, he put
even
it in
a
his
therapy
pocket.
bird.
No, he put it in his pocket. Yeah, it's a emotional support bird.
But even if it's in his pocket, what happens when they screen him? No, nothing. Or
I don't know if the constructs set off the metal detector. I don't know. They haven't explained
maybe
anything.
I guess okay. I don't think it'll set off a metal detector, but usually in the airport, you actually they have to do more of an X-ray type of scan.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, and they wouldn't notice it.
Listen, how did he get a cab to the airport, get through security, have to wait 2 hours, take his flight to get all that in like 20 minutes? He's in the house. Once he leaves, if Coast City is essentially San Diego, right? So he's in Nebraska. That's like a 90-minute flight plus, 2 hours on the front end. But he's there and back like in 3 hours.
It does seem that way, yes.
So here is the lantern, the the version of the lantern that they have here in the show. I honestly don't have much problem with this. Okay. This design isn't bad.
It looks fine.
It's fine. It looks sort of familiar, but sort of alien. I will say I don't actually. There is some clever stuff they did with the design. For instance, the double rings. Around that, for those who know in DC canon, Oa is frequently shown with a double set of rings around the planet. So, that kind of calls it into that design. So that is interesting, right? Yeah. And I don't have a problem with the design of that. It's fine. It looks a little worn and old, but so is Oa. Wow. So is the Green Lantern Corps. So yeah, it's fine. And so is Hal, right? Exactly.
Right.
I do have a question for you. Did we already see the scene we saw the scene that he burst into her meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I saw people. I don't know if it was my previous review that some of the comments or a few people got that really like the show. They're like, "Come on, you're being disingenuous." In the comics, like Hal Jordan is a jerk all the time too. But from what I recall, I think you could say a bit overconfident or a little cocky, but I don't think that he's a jerk. Like here, he comes off as a mean spirited jerk in every scene that I see him. I don't recall that being that way in the comics.
I
No,
agree.
no,
Yeah,
no,
he's
no.
more.
He's
He's
the
like a
huge.
fighter pilot who's
Yeah.
very knows
Cocky
what
and
he's
arrogant
doing.
and confident, but not a jerk. Like here, he's
Yeah.
just a mean-spirited jerk in everything that you see him.
Yeah, but everybody's an asshole in this show. That's the other problem I have with it. Nobody's likable. Everyone's a dick here. But yes, this is not our Hal Jordan. This is not our Jon Stewart. I don't know about Girl Boss Judge and Girl Boss Sheriff. Fuck them.
F them. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm just laughing at you, how you phrased that.
Yeah, let's not even talk about Lot Lizard Granny for fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
And
Gross.
speaking of dicks, so while John is in his house trying to recover his lantern battery and looking longingly at his uniform, he is pulling corpses out of the local morgue, and we get to see full frontal nudity. Why?
Male full frontal nudity. Because
Yes.
DC loves cocks. I've seen more
Yes.
cocks in DC shows than I have watching porn. Sorry.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, so we get to see full frontal nudity on multiple corpses, dead guys.
And if he
fantastic.
had his ring, he would have been able to do this in about 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he didn't need all
Carry
four
him.
of them either. He just
he needed one.
One.
Just
and-
one.
Yeah, and by the way, these totally perfect undetectable aliens leave obvious alien goo all over the car seat. So maybe not that fucking undetectable. Because again, this scene needs them to be detectable, whereas the other scene needed them to be undetectable.
Mhm.
That alien needs to eat some more Big Macs. But yeah, why wouldn't Hal Jordan go to like grab a tarp or something? I mean, yeah, he doesn't care about Jon Stewart or the car, but like you're gonna like you got to
Yeah.
drive this car around because your power
Now-
battery is not charged. You're gonna let
Now-
alien goo get everywhere.
Stuff
let me-
one guy in a body bag.
Now, let me ask you something. Since those things are on wheel, wouldn't it be easier to take a metal detector to the morgue than to take 4 corpses to the metal detector?
It's not a bad idea.
Very possibly, yes.
Yeah. Also, since he'll say later, this technology is unlike anything I've ever seen across the galaxy. You got it from Space Timu, but it's more advanced than anything I've ever seen. Well, why didn't you take one, open it up, and try to figure out how it works? What it keys off? There's an astonishing lack of curiosity by every character in this show about what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, and if you only had your ring, you could have scanned it with the ring has got an artificial intelligence in it
Well,
too, so it can scan things.
No, we already said that won't work. I don't know why, it just won't. But also, I need the web address to Space Timu because I need to order some shit. Really.
Yeah.
We will not spend any more time than necessary on this, but this also happened in the show. He asks John while he's visiting his place to feed Earl.
Little Shop of Horrors monster.
I thought it was Audrey. Was Earl? Huh?
Audrey too.
Yeah.
Audrey too.
And this is a dig at Jon Stewart because he's got to feed him meat to the plant.
Yeah, you got to feed him meat. And he's like, yeah, burgers used to be my thing too, he says. So I guess we get to find out why he became a vegan at some point, or vegetarian, whatever.
Yeah. So I stopwatched this because I want to point out 61% of the exposition lines. I've been separating exposition from stuff actually happening in the show. This is one of 2 huge exposition blocks that happen in the middle, and even though they only take up about 8 minutes, It's 61% of the dialogue for the entire episode, and it feels like it took like 25 minutes. There's the exposition here where he's on the phone and nothing's happening, and then the exposition that we're going to get to when they kidnap him.
Yep.
So 61% of the dialogue.
Taking bets on whether we ever see Earl again.
Probably not.
Like they pointless. I don't think we're going to see Earl again.
No.
They're trying to say, oh, look at how he keeps carnivorous, dangerous, deadly plants in a greenhouse. What's the point? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
I don't think there's a point.
You want to believe that there's a reason why he's here. I mean, if they never show this again, it'll be so annoying.
Yeah,
really
well, this is Damon Lindelof, though, right?
Right?
He does not understand the idea of setups and payoffs.
Yeah,
he does not get it. It's just set up, and then there's no payoff. It's just, oh, look, this random thing.
It's the Audrey-shaped mystery box.
Yeah, in this one, yeah. So
where's the plan from? Yeah, is it going to have anything to do with the plot? It should if you're going to show that, but
shouldn't.
But they won't.
Maybe
so we do have
Sinestro's pet.
That could be it. Yes. This one's going to take some finagling here to make sure we're not showing anything lewd.
Yeah, it's coming up, isn't it? That scene or no?
Well,
so, there we go. So I'll just show this right here. So he takes the corpses back to the metal detectors and then figures out that nothing's happening when he drags them through there. But then he lets one of the naked floppy corpses drop on top of him as he stumbles through the detector, and this little thingy up here goes off. And he goes, oh, I see. Yeah, it's picking up. It's detecting aliens.
Dead flaccid aliens.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the most advanced piece of technology he's ever
really
seen in the galaxy. And why didn't he take, again, like, if you can't detect these things, but these little boxes can, then grab one and see how it works for
take it.
My LEXA camera looks a little bit more high tech than that. I gotta say,
it's a few LEDs inside of some like a metal iris or something.
My Bluetooth fleshlight looks more high tech than that. Okay, I know.
Well, I don't want to think about that.
I'm just kidding. I know they make them though because I.
Well, I do have the Supergirl cup that.
Yeah.
Speaking of floppy, flaccid
on my desk.
So John, on his way out the door, as he's trying to put away the key in the stupid little fake rock.
Complete lack of situational awareness from a Marine sniper.
He is. Why isn't it letting me share? Here we go. Yep. He gets some guys to sneak up on him. They start beating on him, and then they hit him with a taser. Did you know tasers make you unconscious? I didn't know that.
Usually they don't unless they give you heart attacks, right?
Yeah.
And they kill you. Yeah.
Usually they're just disabling. They kind of disrupt your ability to fight back long enough for people to subdue you, get the cuffs on you. You just sort of lose bodily control, but no, apparently here they knock you out. So, but then maybe they're special alien tasers.
Hey, I don't know. You're laughing at me about the Bluetooth fleshlight, but did you look at the bottom of that lantern yet?
Oh my gosh!
You hadn't checked it.
Oh god!
But yeah, they come up on him. They knock him out and take him. Yes, this trained military sniper gets snuck up on by these guys. But they's the aliens, so maybe they, something special about them. Something.
Yeah, I'm not going to say this on the stream. I call them the watermelon enthusiast aliens because they've been green as lighted. Does that track? Because
Sure.
they're really talking about green lighted all the time. So I have the other guys being the matzo ball enthusiasts.
I see. Well, while they are trying to take John in, he manages to break loose, and he's running down
This is so
the
stupid.
highway
Okay.
in the opposite direction of traffic. He's running into traffic.
Okay, there's a few things I don't understand. One, why is he running into traffic? The other thing is, why not try to get to the side of the road? First of all, don't run against traffic, run with it, and then run in a way that you could maybe get to something that you're not on the road. Like, wouldn't that be what you want to do? Instead, 70 people crash their car, possibly being injured or maybe worse than that. And this guy doesn't even care. And at the end, some truck hits him, right? That's how that's how they caught him, because he couldn't even get away. So just he ran out, all these people were injured, and now he himself couldn't even save himself.
Yeah, and I love that we're informed by the sound effects that the guys chasing him are most definitely aliens, because they make little whooshy noises when they jump up on top of cars.
That was weird too, yeah.
Well, John Stewart went to the Riri Williams, the Ironheart School of not leaving the road. If you remember her terrible show, when she's getting chased by a truck, and instead of just jumping onto the sidewalk where the truck can't go, she keeps running down the road.
Yep.
So here we have a trained Marine whose father used to shoot apples over his head, and he doesn't have the sense to get out of the middle of the road. Like,
right. Why is he in the middle of the road? Get out of the middle of the road.
Get on the shoulder or get on the median,
right,
and you have a strategic advantage.
Right. I don't understand. Also, do you not give a shit that all these people are now, like, you're causing 70 accidents? Like, why don't you get off the fucking road? Also, once he gets hit by the truck, wouldn't that be a major thing? Because it knocked him out and they were able to bring him to this meeting at this office. How did he just get away from being hit by a truck as if it's nothing?
No cops, no ambulances, no civilians are going
to. I know because they didn't show it on screen, but we've had massive pileup. There's no way somebody didn't die in that massive pileup.
100%. He caused people's deaths.
No question. Not in my mind. The next, I got a great great freeze frame there. So for the next scene, after he gets knocked out, someone in a black van like smacks him, hits Stewart real hard, and he's knocked out. And so we go back to what's happening in Nebraska, and she's pulling him over. And of course, he has dead bodies, alien corpses in his car. I will say this. I laughed when she came up to the window and he says, "Is this about me not being on the insurance?"
Yeah.
I did giggle a little bit. I thought that
and
was...
I thought he should have said, too, I was trying to get through the carpool lane.
Yeah.
Does this count?
I was looking for the carpool lane.
No tolls.
But yeah, she's mortified, literally, that there are dead bodies in the car, and trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. Why does he keep fighting her on her jurisdiction? Why does whatever? And then he informs her of his plan to go and talk to. Go and talk to his, her
Macon.
Macon, her father-in-law, right? Father-in-law.
Yep.
This scene has a lot of problems. First of all, this scene really bothers me because, the second she walks up to him, he's like, "There's a lot of things you don't know around here." So she's like, "What? That they're aliens? That you went to the field? That there was a metal detector and you discovered everything?" So he's like, "Okay, you do know everything." And I'm like, I don't understand why does this lady seemingly know everything, do nothing, and yet she's considered like good, and he's a jerk somehow?
Yeah, once you knew there were aliens, he had jurisdiction too, right? Which he admits in this scene.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing is, once that's the case, until now she was Sheriff Girl Boss, and she wouldn't let him do his job because she said it has nothing to do with aliens and it's not your jurisdiction. But now it is his jurisdiction, and he's doing what's right within his jurisdiction. They can no longer say anything to him.
No, in her mind, if the crime isn't actively in progress, they don't need him anymore. Like, he's only has jurisdiction while a crime's being committed. Nothing after, no investigation.
Nobody's
look at
asking
that smug
her.
face.
Nobody's fucking asking this dumb lady. And the thing is, he's cocky and jerky here, but nothing that matters. He's not cocky and jerky where he needs to be. This is the part where he could tell her this. Like, he doesn't need all this like decorating and making excuses. He could just tell her, listen, your job is to be the sheriff of this town. I have a different job. I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point that this guy puts his foot even down a little. He's just like, oh, you do know everything. I am an idiot.
He has to be subservient to the girl boss. He's only above the black guy, but a woman, they trump everybody.
Right.
But she knew there were aliens there the whole time, so she'd have been like, hey, John, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, how about you help us here right now? There's aliens on the field, dead aliens, but nope.
No, because she doesn't
lies to him.
She's not at all curious about why they're there. She's not curious about who's funding the hospital that they don't need, even though hospitals in small town rural America are luxuries. She's not curious where her father-in-law gets his money. She's not curious about anything.
Right?
Yeah, that is true.
Yep. So let's see. Where we go next?
He's like, I have to go to your father-in-law now.
Yeah, she's not even curious about how. She just wants him gone for no reason.
No, but she does mention that her marriage isn't doing well, and then his ears perk. So maybe
he's like, you're not in a happy marriage. What? Like literally, I swear the way he says it is like, oh, so you're available. Right. Like, so you're potentially bangable. Now I'm interested. Like, oh God.
Well, my junior partner banged your mother-in-law, so that would work. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably setting this up. Lindelof isn't good at setting up anything except for this. This he probably setting up.
Yeah. Oh, can we mention just what a beta cuck limp noodle her husband is? Like, they give him the cheesy mustache. Yeah. They make him more effeminate. He's more feminine than Sydney Sweeney in lingerie, for fuck's sake. Like, why did she marry a guy less masculine than her? Jeez.
He's not, Jack Tripper is about as masculine as he is when he's pretending to be gay. God bless John Ritter. I love John Ritter. But
this is John Ritter's son.
Jason, right? And he looks, oh God, Jason looks so much more like his dad now that he's a little bit older.
That's true. I don't dislike Jason Ritter. I just think that they don't know what to do with him here. Yeah.
And this scene is so moronic. I mean, how could you shoot the guy in front of the sheriff? He's not doing anything. He's not threatening. Stand your ground laws mean that you've got to have some kind of threat going. You just can't.
Oh, but he's technically trespassing.
And the sheriff said he could, so he does.
That's obscene. The sheriff would never let you just shoot a guy standing there posing no threat. I mean,
this one does.
Yeah, this one does.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Do you think the writers have ever encountered actual law enforcement anywhere? No, they only know their own private security. So, and private security will shoot somebody just for being there. So, there.
Yeah, see how quickly they get their asses hauled to jail. If you shot someone like that from a guard tower,
I
with
guarantee
no threat.
Mark Ruffalo doesn't care what happens to his security guys as long as they shoot anybody who he perceives as a threat. Like, they don't give a shit.
Edmund Room says, I think her hat got bigger. I don't know what that means.
Or she got smaller.
Maybe. One of them, yeah.
When she gets excited, the hat enlarges. Or engorges, if you will.
Let's see. So then our next scene, we are introduced to these weirdos.
God, I'm already hating this fucking show. Like, I know we got to talk about it, but
No,
can we go back to Rod Stewart?
but I'll tell you this: it was such a chore to get through. It was so annoying to even watch it. Like
Yeah,
this
that's-
scene that you're about to show now, I had to watch it maybe like 5 times because every time I watched it, I don't know why, but I got bored watching it. And I
Yeah.
kind of got distracted thinking about something else. And I said, no, you got to pay attention to what they're saying here.
Yeah, that's why counting the lines, the amount of dialogue, and the time really didn't bother me because it gave me something to do.
Yeah, I was reading Twitter and watching and this scene especially, and then you miss something because every 30 seconds there's something important.
Yep.
And then I got to rewind now. I think they actually said something that mattered to the plot.
That's exactly it. That's the problem with this episode. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I do have to say, this is an underrated actor. He doesn't get nearly enough work.
Yeah,
Paul Ben
Paul Ben
Victor,
Victor.
he's fantastic. I really love him, and I'm glad he's in this. But I'm sorry he's in this, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So he plays a character named Anton, Antaan. That's important, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So he is here telling John, asking him about the Manhunters. So Price and I had a conversation about this earlier because he didn't quite understand like who the hell are the Manhunters and why is that important and whatever. So we talked about it.
I just want to say the funny thing is, like, Professor's in the middle of work. And like he gets a call from me. I'm at like, this is the weirdest thing. We're grown men. He's working somewhere and getting like a phone call in the middle of the day while he's working, like in serious mode. And I start asking him about the Manhunters completely seriously, like answers my questions. We hang up and we continue our day.
So he tells them a story of that there's there were these things called the Manhunters. Of course, he says that they were able to take biological forms and infiltrate places and whatever. That was not something that was part of the Manhunters in DC canon originally, but the Manhunters they are a known quantity. They're from canon. And they were the original police force, essentially, that the Guardians of Oa created before the Green Lanterns.
Yeah, but not these Manhunters. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. But here's I'll tell you where I'm going with this. So, these Manhunters that were created, these were this police force, but they got out of control. Just like,
they went all Skynet.
The episodes we have of Star Trek, right, where the computer takes things too literally and takes it too far, like Nomad, right?
Yeah, they went all Skynet, and
but the Manhunters were in canon, at least in some canon, were based on the Manhunters of Malalalandra, which is the name of Mars. Right. Yeah. So they were based originally on these Manhunters from Mars. So that brings us to that there's another important character in the DCU, in the DC comics, known as the Manhunter, who is the Martian Manhunter, John Johns, who is, of course, he has been a dang it. Tried to switch windows and it just closed it. Try again. Martian Manhunter, of course, from the same planet of the Manhunters that supposedly the Manhunters were designed on, whatever. So we have the Martian Manhunter, who's a very important character in the DC universe. Oops, that's not what I meant to do.
Oops. You sure it wasn't based on Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So that's the Martian Manhunter, right? He's known as a hero. He's one of the few survivors of everything that happened on Mars thousands of years ago. But take a look at his suit. Those who aren't familiar with Martian Manhunter, what he looks like, how his iconic suit, it almost universally includes this X in the design on his outfit.
Yeah.
Whether he has the cape or not just depends on the different versions of the character. But that is the Martian Manhunter. one thing that's important about the Martians, many of them are able to take different forms, just like the aliens that we see in this show. So there's the guys that have kidnapped John. They appear to be able to take human form. There is these manhunters that they claim to be after, or this manhunter they're after. These they also appear to be able to take, human form or whatever form they want. And in the trailers for the show, we also have something interesting. Okay. If it'll let me share this tab instead. There we go. So we have this very brief little clip that is in the trailers, but you can see it here. There's this character standing here in front of a character, someone else we have not been introduced to yet.
That looks like Jon Stewart's mom, and that's Jon Stewart in the bundle.
Is that supposed to be? Okay. So we have here that character that transforms.
That's the one you were showing us.
Yeah. Well, no, because
he has an X, though.
Yeah. Can I interject real quick? So, in the newer continuities, John Johns is a founding member of the Justice League. He is a green Martian Manhunter.
He is a green, yes.
The white Martian Manhunters are evil, and they're the ones that wiped out all of the Martians.
Yes.
So, white Martians are bad.
The white Martians have advanced technology. They have the ability to transform, use psychic powers, pretty much the same powers as the green Martians, but they were, they tried to conquer Mars, right? Yeah. They tried to conquer and take over everyone.
Yeah. They're colonizers.
They tried to eliminate all of the other Martian races, which included the green Martians, the yellow Martians, and so on.
Yes, and they are white colonizers.
You will notice the X pattern from the Martian Manhunter. You will also notice that the character appears to be, there's very little showing here, but not only is there this white motif in the X, but it also appears, you can just kind of see it above this giant collar here, that there appears to be some white for that character as well. So here is my theory, right? And actually this carries on, as I told Bryce, there's nothing in this episode that has in any way deterred me from the theories that I had presented before. One of them was that they were going to conflate the Manhunters and the Martian Manhunter into a single sort of part of the canon in the show. I mentioned that a long time ago, that it appeared maybe they were going to do something with that, partially just because of the clip that I showed there. And when they do talk about this Manhunter and it killed all of our people, whatever, they're actually, I think they are showing John what they did, right? They're actually showing John what they did to Mars, because these are the white Martians who are here after the Martian Manhunter, John Johns. So that's what I think is going on.
He could be a red. Now the speculation is he's a Red Lantern. That's atrocious.
I understand. Some people have said that. I saw Badger was talking about these were Red Lanterns potentially. But remember that his name is Anton with a double A, and the Martian characters in the DC universe almost universally have names with double letters in them.
Good point. Yep.
Oh, okay, but here's my question then. Why didn't Wayland just explode and make sure to take out the Martian Manhunter? He knew he was in town. He knew he could take out the entire town.
There were multiple. I think all of the guys that are dead in that town were part of this guy. We're part of this guy's group. Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying Wayland had a chance to detonate and make sure to kill the green one. If these are really the bad guys, Wayland could have taken out the Martian Manhunter that everyone's looking for.
If he knew who it was.
No. He said, they said I could kill him now because I would take out the entire town, and we know he's here.
Well, they know he's there, but they don't know who it is, although I think I do.
Right. But they said but he said they didn't want to destroy an entire town just to get the guy. They don't need to know. They just need to make sure he's dead. If they were white Martians, they wouldn't care about destroying an entire town. However,
if they were
logic.
Red Lanterns, they wouldn't give a shit about killing an entire town either.
Right. But that's logic, and that doesn't necessarily enter into this kind of storytelling. So that doesn't change your theory's possibility either.
Yeah. So so we've
It'll
got
probably be Sheriff Girl Boss.
No,
it's
I'll tell you
Grandma.
It's Grandma.
It's Grandma.
Grandma, yeah.
I think possibly both Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah, but
we've never seen them together.
Yeah, no, and Grandma had a son who's going to be half manhunter, half human, a love child that shows that they anyway. The point,
he's going to be adopted.
A dude, you're saying?
Listen, in order to make Waylon the most cucked, idiotic, used, manipulated character in the whole thing, it makes perfect sense that Grandma has been running him this whole time, had him creating. He thinks he's protecting the planet from her, and she's been running his ass this entire time for the last 30 years.
Also very possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Macon is legit. He's the sucker. He's the ultimate cuck and sucker here.
Very
Granny's gonna be the bad guy.
Ultimate cuck sucker? What?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, Granny's the manhunter. He represents the threat that Macon is concerned about, and so in a twist of irony, he's actually working for the people that he thinks he's protecting the world from. He builds this alien detection net in order to be an early warning system for the threat that he's so worried about himself. It's got a kind of irony to it.
So here is this is what some people thought, perhaps, that they were injecting him with some kind of Yellow Lantern, fear, parallax, stuff or whatever. Yeah. But I think in this, it's clear that that's not yellow. And what they are doing here is they are supposedly showing him feelings.
No.
Literally, they say that in the lines. They say, "Can you feel what we're showing you?"
No, what they're doing is saving about $8 million on the budget of the show.
You're absolutely right. Is what they're doing.
That's true. They've saved a lot. They did the same thing with Hal Jordan's origin story. Didn't even show us one frame. It's the coolest thing. Show anything. Instead, he's just sitting at a bar and saying, "Hey, you know how I got the ring?" And then he just talks for like a minute, and that's it.
Yeah, everything about this show is designed not to spend any money on effects. And so they say, we're going to show you. There's this Brillisai. I don't know I don't want to say the word,
Yes.
Our entire planet was destroyed.
The killing of all of our people and what the Manhunters did to us. Which is why people are saying that this is potentially Red Lanterns, because the story of the Red Lanterns, the background of the Red Lanterns, specifically Atrocitus, who's the head of the Red Lanterns, is that the planet that they lived on is in Sector 666, which was obliterated, completely destroyed, all life eliminated in that sector by the Manhunters. And it was actually the incident that made the Owens, the Guardians, decide to eliminate the Manhunters and create the Green Lanterns instead. And
you think you're gonna at least see something, because they're like, we're gonna show you, we're gonna see something. You don't see shit. It's all exposition.
You see nothing. Yeah, you see nothing. So he sits there jerking and drooling, and they say, he says, "Can you see it? Can you feel what we saw? Can you see our feelings?"
Yeah, that's what my Bluetooth fleshlight asked me.
Yes, it says it all the time.
Feel my pain. They're doing a Bill Clinton to him now.
Yeah. So this is absurd. Yeah, you're right.
It's a great story, though, the whole origin of the Red Lanterns, and if they've done this properly. But you don't introduce the Red Lanterns this quickly. I mean, you got to, develop the world first. You don't hit the
Exactly.
the
Well,
Red
and
Lanterns. Jeff Johns did that over many years, developing all these.
and that was
other
part of the
Lantern Corps.
problem with the Green Lantern film with Ryan Reynolds, right? They tried to push way too much of this lore all in it all at the same time, introducing Parallax and the yellow rings and and stuff on top of trying to introduce all these other characters, and there was so much in there. It should have been a much simpler story, just doing the standard Hal Jordan origin and Sinestro going bad. That should have been it, right? But yeah, they did way too much with it, which is why it ended up being such a disaster. So they let's see here if I can get a good frame. Not cooperating. Let's see. So they do. They decide to let him go, and they say, "We're recruiting you. We want you to help us to find this Manhunter because it destroyed all of these people." And all we want is for you to help us out in finding this, this terrible creature that killed our people and whatever. So we we go back to find Hal, who was shot in the shoulder by the guys on the ranch for trespassing, just shot for trespassing.
And by the way, much like Jon Stewart, who was hit by a truck and the next scene, nothing happened to him, he got off pretty easy. Like, somebody shot him and he's sitting there and he's like, oh, okay. He's like, you're clear to go now. Like, just a scratch.
Professor, so is your theory that the Manhunter that's in hiding, Granny, is actually Jean John's? Like, are
that's
you
what I'm guessing at this point? Yeah.
That would just, but that would still connect. That would be using too much lore. I don't see these guys.
Yeah, it's possible.
That much
you know what?
comics.
I'm just,
You think the Granny is John John's?
Yeah, no. I think she's just a Manhunter. I think Professor is showing the cooler version of the shitty story that these guys wrote.
You're probably. I'm not going to say that you're wrong. You're probably right. I'm probably guessing at something way cooler and way more logical than what they're going to do. I did the same thing with the Acolyte, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I think they're going to do this with the characters that, of course, they did something completely stupid and idiotic, and I was not thinking nearly as idiotic as they were. So.
Yeah. At face value, Anton's group is actually good. The dead aliens on the football field were good. And the Manhunter everybody's chasing is super bad. That's face value. That's how it's presented. Professor has way too cool a story to ever come from Lindelof or Tom King.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Like I said, the whole point, if the Manhunter is evil, then that's the thing that Macon is worried about. And he's actually working for him under the guise of like his benefactor shell company, and he doesn't even know it. And he's sleeping with it every night he goes to bed.
Yes, I think they had John Johns bang Jon Stewart.
It makes it makes the racist white guy look even that more stupid, and so that's why I think they'll go with that.
I mean, who was he banging? Jon Stewart. It must be.
Yeah,
it was at the very least, it's some version of a Manhunter.
Yeah, Jon Stewart also banging the Manhunter. Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the case. Well, we find how he's waking up in the hospital. She apparently carried him all the way back to the hospital, drove him back.
But don't you think that the injury, much like with the thing with Jon Stewart, is almost nothing? Like he just gets out of bed, nobody cares, he just goes. Like nothing.
Wait, no one's in the hospital. That made zero sense. He even mentioned that too.
And he just walks right out of the hospital just moments later too. Yeah, and while they're in the hospital, she basically mentions that she always knew that they were aliens. She always knew that they were alien detectors. And
there is an important piece of the exposition dump that you missed, Professor, which when Anton is describing the Manhunters, he's very precise in his language that they can build technology far beyond what is available on the planet. He goes several times, he mentions that they can become undetectable and that they create technology beyond anything else anyone's seen. So read that's why I'm thinking these alien detectors from Space Temu fit the bill perfect. I think it's their way of ham-fistingly
Well, no, yeah,
foreshadowing
and
that.
I believe that's actually the case. Yeah, whoever this manhunter is, whether it's John Johns or some other manhunter, I believe it's the one providing them with this technology. Yes.
Right. But again, they're making it sound like it's the technology that no one else in the galaxy. It's not just better for Earth. They're making it sound like it's better than anywhere, which makes kind of Hal's sort of a hyperbolic explanation of it sort of in tune with what they were saying. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, I see what you're saying. They're connecting it with the language.
Yeah.
Another thing that happens in the scene. So she's talking to Hal. They're arguing about. He's like, if you knew they were aliens, why did you fight me on jurisdiction? And she says, I didn't want you getting everyone paranoid and
insurrecting.
I didn't want you to make everyone paranoid so that they started insurrecting the shit out of everyone. That's not how you use that word.
Yeah, but they need also. You already had like a mass shooting. People are gonna like. So what are you doing? You can't just say, "Calm down. I'm the sheriff. I got it all." You're not doing anything, lady.
He was insurrecting in a sentence for $500.
Yes,
it's like
they just had
used that way. Is it
the
a word?
writers had to slip that word in.
Yeah.
Is that even a word?
Well, insurrecting is
insurrecting.
Yes,
I've never heard of insurrecting.
It could be used that way. It's not
yes.
common. Yeah, it's not common. But yes, but they had to slip that in there because they had to try and tie these, white supremacists, alien,
Trump,
supremacists, whatever, to Trump. To try, and it's ridiculous because they wouldn't.
The aliens are going to turn out to be orange lanterns, like Orange Man Bad. They're going to be all orange.
There you go.
Orange lanterns. Yeah.
Now, there's only one of those in the canon, but I'm sure they could ruin that too.
Yeah. Insurrection is a noun, but insurrect is a verb, but it's very uncommon to usage of that. But you just know that word has connotations now. She could have said, "You don't want to."
It's not just a word, but oddly, in the year this thing takes place, that event didn't even happen.
Yeah. No, that's for us. It's not for. Listen, she could have said, don't make the town panic. We don't want to have a riot. We don't want people to go,
exactly.
bonkers." This is specific political Lindelof, Tom King language.
It absolutely is. Yeah. Absolutely, 100%.
Kind of like how's your white man?
Oh, we'll get there.
They danced around a lot of things until that scene that they're just like, fuck it. Let's just say what we want.
Yeah, they didn't dance around this one at all. This is when I jumped out of my seat and said, fuck you, Joe.
Now, it's going to be a little hard to see on the frame here in the screen that I'm sharing, but you can see that Hal is all packed up and ready to go.
I'm getting excited like Tom Connors now. I need to calm down.
A man who has been shot with a sniper rifle. So this isn't a pea shooter. It's going
to be a 308 or a 30-06.
308 probably.
That'll take half your shoulder out.
And he doesn't even have blood on his jacket.
Yep.
I don't think
he has a little hole. He's got a little hole punched in it. There's a little hole punched in it just right there.
No, he's good as new. Like they just brought him here. He wakes up, everything's ready. He just leaves like nothing happened.
It's a really good hospital.
Yeah. Tiny little hole.
I don't see anything, Prof.
I can't really enlarge it. But yeah, it's right there in front of the pointer.
No, I don't see an image at all.
We don't see it yet. Yeah.
Oh, you're not seeing it?
No. We're not getting a shared image.
Oh, well,
that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Okay. We'll try again.
Did you share it?
No.
Nope.
Nothing. Interesting. Maybe it's decided to give up on me. I'm going to back out. I'll be right back.
I think I think the white Martian manhunters have fucked with your technology.
It's decided to stop working. Yep, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Well, gentlemen. Oh, he's already back. I wasn't even able to say one liner. I was
Here
going
we
to
go.
say something like,
Okay.
gentlemen,
Okay.
let the games begin. But then he came back.
Yeah. So yeah, there's the little hole. Tiny
That's a-
little hole.
That's a BB gun.
Yeah. That's barely even a 9mm round. It's gonna punch that hole, and that's not what's coming out of a sniper rifle.
Yeah, that's not even a 223, which is half the size of a 9.
Yeah. So there's a little hole punched in his shit, but not a drop of blood on his jacket.
No, he
He had
looks good as
residual
new.
shields from the power ring.
That was
No,
totally
he's not
out of
John
juice.
Stewart, right? He's not like
Yeah.
he's not as good as John Stewart,
Yeah,
right?
no ring at
No
all.
ring, no.
Look how
And no
look,
charges on the
Yeah.
person. No charges
wait.
on the person.
Go back.
I mean,
Look how short that girl boss sheriff.
Oh,
bitch
she's
is.
super. Yeah, super
Jesus.
tiny.
Like, I've taken dumps bigger than her. I don't know where that came. I think that's
Yeah.
a line from a movie. I don't know.
It's fine. No,
So we get back to we do get back to Jon Stewart arriving back in town.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a great freeze frame there of her. Where we have a lovely conversation about how white men are full of privilege and able to be eccentric, and start talking about them in the third person. How's your white man?
How's your
right
white
now.
man?
oh,
Yeah.
Oh, and she basically admits to being a gold digger, by the way, also. And still, listen, I want to. I did a bunch of Twitter stuff about this yesterday. It's not that far back. If you go find me on Twitter, you can see
Mhm.
I posted this whole conversation.
Yep. Oh, he sent me to, yeah. He sent me to fetch things. He tried to get rid of me.
Yeah, Masa. He sent his black man on errands. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. What this bullshit.
Let's see. So
I thought he wasn't going to sit in the booth, and then he walked over, right?
yeah,
that-
He's
yeah.
enjoying his coffee, and then he
Yeah,
sat down anyway.
that air conditioning sign is for the European visitors to the no-tell motel.
Mhm.
Yep.
Air conditioning, yay!
He throws him his suit and his lantern. He's really disrespectful and recharging his. He rushes through the oath as rapidly as he possibly can, to get his ring
Yep.
recharged. No, no reverence or anything whatsoever for this. For this character, for the ring, for the oath that's been part of this character for, decades. Not just we're just gonna move on.
They really are treating it like an iPhone, banging it on a car, forgetting the charger. Just like, I could see maybe after 30 years he wants it to go a little quick, but it's still, especially since he's been without power for a day and he got shot, he should appreciate the fucking ring.
I reject the Gilf theory, because Gilf would suggest that she's super hot.
Yes.
Like Halle Berry would be a Gilf, I guess.
Yeah, didn't you once meet a Gilf of the Year or a MILF of the Year?
There
or
was
something
MILF
like
of
that?
the Year. Yeah,
Yeah.
recently
Yeah.
I told you about it. I don't even think, I think Halle Berry, I'm okay with putting her in the MILF. Like, maybe she's technically out of the thing, but I'll give her the MILF.
No,
But this lady,
yeah, absolutely.
this lady on this show ain't no Gilf. All I know is that, she's just a granny.
I don't even think your girl viewers are at the point where they would turn down Halle Berry here. Man,
Yep.
she's definitely.
I will say I was actually impressed that they went with the original version of the Green Lantern Oath instead of like the newer woke versions, where they take out the word blackest. I thought they were going to do a different one where it's, in brightest day and gayest night or something, but they didn't do that either.
What do they do now? Darkest?
That's it's been changed a few times where they said that, well, when you say the blackest night, that makes it sound like black is a bad thing. and we don't want to do. And it's like,
Yeah, Blackest is still sorry. Like it doesn't. Yeah, it still means that. I'm sorry if you take offense to language.
It
And
implies
Jeff John's
darkness.
famous comic wasn't
I didn't notice.
Blackest
Which
Night?
one was he doing here?
He was doing the classic one
Blackest,
where he says Blackest Night. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It implies, because the Green Lantern is about green light, blackness implies the absence of light. That's the point of the blackest night in the oath. But people don't understand that, just get angry because it has the word black in it.
Yeah, since it's Lindelof, I'm surprised he didn't fill the ring up with semen for snacking later. But
Oh my goodness gracious!
Oh, Lord.
It is a late night.
dude, that guy sloshes when he walks. Don't pretend otherwise. God.
Well, he also brings the uniform along with him, and he said, I didn't want you to bring this thing with me, or whatever. But we do get to see he does put on the uniform, which remember, he doesn't wear except for special occasions.
Right.
He says.
Does he go grab an alien detector or Mason or Macon? No. He immediately again just leaves.
I just want to read this $5 super chat from Jason Webster. Your Honor, I submit Exhibit A in the series Lanterns as evidence of James Gunn's crimes against contemporary Western popular culture.
Yes.
That is fine. I think that there's a few things you could already show that he did, but this is one of them, yes.
This is definitely one of them.
What do Damon Lindelof and the space shuttle have in common? They both suffered catastrophic O-ring blowouts.
Oh, too soon.
Are you getting the impression I don't like that guy? The Watchmen. After what he did to the Watchmen, I no mercy.
We had big dongs in that show too, didn't we?
Yeah. But
there were a bit.
Yeah, dongs are canon in that, though. I'll let that slide. But the fact is, even regular soy people go look at Lindelof and go, God, that dude's freaking. Ugh.
So he does put on the uniform and he flies off
to space jail.
Yes, we're not told that numerous people refer to this as Oa. I don't necessarily know that this is Oa.
It looks like Krypton.
I thought that was Trump's place in New Jersey they're trying to shut down. No,
yeah,
okay.
could be. It's definitely a prison planet of some kind because he goes into the prison. We saw this in the trailers where he walks in. And he sees Sinestro without the giant forehead. They didn't have money for a giant forehead. They had
that looks like Grandpa. That doesn't look like. It looks like Grandpa who's kind of sick. It certainly doesn't look like the Yellow Lantern terror of the galaxy.
Yep, and this is played by somebody named Ulrich Thompson. I'm not even sure what he's been in before.
Now, is he slightly red there, like in the comics?
Yes, I do think he's got some red makeup
that's what they were implying.
Yeah, but they didn't go very red. They didn't
go
all
not
red.
Very red.
No, because
enough red.
Like a suntan red they gave.
Yeah, they think colors are silly. No Green Lantern, no red. They're obviously still going on the whole True Detective kick, and anything comic book related, they're embarrassed by. So let's just give the guy a sunburn, make him look like a cancer patient, and we're done.
And he asks him, he says, tell me what you know about the Manhunters. And he replies to him that, if you're dealing with a Manhunter, that's the second biggest threat you're dealing with.
Dun, dun, dun.
Tell me about John Stewart. So he wants to know about So this is, once again, follows along with one of my theories for the show, which is that the reason that Hal has not been uploading his, updating his version of himself in his ring hasn't been reporting back to Oa as much, whatever, like hasn't been, is because Sinestro put into him the fear of him being replaced. He's terrified of being replaced. He loves being a Green Lantern, and he fears being replaced and losing his position as a Green Lantern because that's all he has. We've already seen he's a workaholic in this episode, right? Never goes home, never does,
Yeah, I'm not getting the impression that he really loves being a Green Lantern, though, dude. Like that's a stretch. I will
But
say,
remember in the first episode, he has all of those people fawning over him being the Green Lantern, and he's smiling, he's cheerful, and he's chatting with them, and he's signing autographs. He's happy at that moment because he's being adored by people, right?
yeah, and
he kind of seems like a douche in that part with the people showing up. Like,
yeah, but
it's like they're not showing him in a positive light in that scene.
So here's my question. He's been the Green Lantern for 30 years. He's supposedly suspicious of the very event that gave him the ring. And he left a little hologram construct to warn him if there's aliens, but we don't know how it knew there were aliens. What's it? We know nothing about that. He doesn't seem interested in what actually keyed it up. But so basically for 30 years, he hadn't been investigating shit, even though supposedly he's so worried about this. Again, when you have a mystery box show, you can't have characters too curious because they'll ruin your setup.
Mm-hmm.
But if what he said was true, he'd be investigating the shit out of that town every spare moment since the time he became a Lantern. And basically he put a little alarm clock warning on it, forgot all about it. It's 30 years later. Now it's actually 20. So 2016. So whatever, like we don't even find out how did the hologram know there were aliens? What did it key off? What made it click? How does it know what part of it's? None of these questions I think are going to ever be answered.
No. We're never going to get an answer as to how the ring actually knew that there were aliens there. We're not going to get an answer to that. That's the. But still sticking to the theories that I had,
yeah.
and if as they were saying here, you were saying that like Abin Sur, that he brought a manhunter to Earth. Well, who would be the manhunter he would bring to Earth?
That would have to be John Johns.
It would be John Johns.
But why would he tell them that he was going to? One, why would he be hanging out with the White Martians, and why would he tell them he would be fighting them, not taking their prisoner? Like, listen, I don't expect the real answer to make any sense either, but because nothing else in this show has. But
yeah. Just
again,
compute.
Your story makes way too much sense for
You're probably
why would the
right.
Manhunter hide out
right.
that long all those years on Earth? I mean,
because it likes banging dudes, I think.
I mean, what the hell makes zero sense? I mean,
learning about afraid of being killed by the White Martians that are still after him, afraid of, or spending time learning about what Earth is and everything, and I don't know.
And wouldn't Hal Jordan know what the freaking Manhunters are?
Apparently not.
Again, lack of it. Like, again, he's suspicious of the very moment he got the ring, but he doesn't seem to be investigating anything about it. That's what's driving me nuts.
Yep.
Also, do you think they gave him the luxurious mansion to try, instead of making him seem kind of more working class, even though it's like he says, oh, some guy gave me this house as a gift, it again kind of feels like they're going for some privilege thing. I know it's not as obvious as some of their other things.
Oh, no, absolutely. You're right. It's like, look at where this white guy gets to live. Absolutely.
Right. He didn't even work for it. Some guy just gave him a gift because he's a white guy.
I rescued some rich person's son.
Yeah, but who pays for your property upkeep? Who tends
property
the
taxes,
gardens? Property taxes. Yeah, I was gonna all the expenses of owning something like that. Is the rich guy still paying all that shit? Like,
he can just create money, I guess.
Who
buys all your
already? Yeah, who buys all your buffalo steak? or to feed Vera or whatever, Irvin.
Yeah, whatever. Earl, I think his
Yeah,
name
Earl.
was.
Earl,
It was
yeah.
Earl.
So lame, that Earl thing. It was so lame. I saw it and
Yeah,
I thought,
and it'll
so
never come
shitty.
up again. It'll never come up again.
Yeah.
I think there'll be one really stupid plot point. Something will happen and they'll remember that. But I'm
Earl's
not
gonna eat the
100%
power
sure.
ring.
I'm about 50-50 on it that the thing makes a comeback at some point. But
Yeah.
if it
I
never
will
shows
say-
up again, I wouldn't be surprised either.
So what will happen from this episode? The one thing that will get a callback is the emergency backup power on the ring, where he bangs it on something and gets 5% back or
yeah.
whatever.
Yes.
So probably John is going to be battling, fighting an evil, yellow powered, fear powered version of Hal in the last episode. He's going to run out of power in his ring. He's going to say, you're out of power, whatever. And he's going to clunk, clunk, bang his ring down. He's going to get 5% power and he's going to kill Hal with it. Or
agree.
restrain him or
Possible,
whatever. Yeah. It's going to be like, you're out of power. Nothing you can do. You can't fight me. And he's going to bang it a couple times. And
But
he'll
don't they
have
find him in the
juice.
bleachers? Don't they find him there in the? How does that?
They find someone who is dead in the bleachers.
There's an awful lot of banging going on this
Yes.
show. Like
We have already been shown that these aliens, whatever they are, white Martians, whatever, that can change, that when they're dead, they stay in their human form. Right?
yeah,
So
Right.
I don't think that's Hal. I think it's one of these
yeah, okay. but
Manhunter Martians, whatever, that's taken Hal's form and has been killed
he,
and placed there
he,
to-
he should
to fake Hal's death.
he should be leaking obvious alien goo though, since their insides definitely.
Well,
don't-
he's frozen, remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's sitting there frozen.
Yeah.
There's like some blood stuff on his face, but yeah, he's sitting there frozen.
Yeah. It's hard for me to wrap around being
So-
cold this last
so-
month.
Yeah.
So
It would
you think what's going to happen is that we're watching basically like a decoy, and then after this he'll find the real Hal Jordan, who's now basically.
Well, I think this is
a
the
bad
real
guy.
Hal Jordan we're seeing in 2016. I think the
Right, but
dead
in
body in
2026
2026 is not him. That he's faking his death
Yeah, and
because he's basically a bad guy now.
because he's going to be the bad guy in the end. Yes.
the
Yeah.
structure of the show, though, like they didn't even need to show that little bit in the pilot because they're not doing like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be one thing if they were doing 8 episodes. Each one did, 96 and then 2006 and then 2016 and then 2020. Like they're not doing the 3 timelines across each episode. So they just had to show that last part just to piss people off, basically. There's no reason. There was no reason for them to cut to 2026 at the end of the first episode, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For shock value.
Yeah. But which
So
is
that-
the worst. That's not a storytelling reason. That's
No. So the word is that this next episode is going to be mostly flashback, where we're going to find out the origins of Jon Stewart.
Yeah, that's going to be the 2006 or 1996. Oh, shock value is basically please stay subscribed to HBO for the next 2 months. That's what
Yes.
shock value
Yeah.
is.
But I think it's pretty much been verified for us that we will see Hal again in episode 8, and that there's going to be something that we are not going to like about what they do with Hal.
Well,
Because Damon Lindelof basically said that in an interview. He said, well, if you don't like what we did with Hal, stick around till episode 8.
we
Oh,
already
great.
don't like what you did with anything, you twat.
I thought you were going to call him a douche or something, but okay.
Twat. I've been hanging around a bunch of the UK streamers, so twat
Okay.
really, they are baffled by our some of the words that they use very casually that are like really no go over here. Fanny.
Yeah.
twat.
Yeah, some words you can't reciprocate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
thought of
but
something.
We have Fanny. They can't really say that.
I just
what-
thought of something. The first weekend when the numbers were good for the premiere, or seemingly good, HBO was very eager, Warner Brothers and HBO, very eager to tell us the numbers. This weekend went by, and they don't seem to be talking about their numbers this week.
No, they don't. And the Nielsen overnights, granted, for an HBO Max show, it's hard to gauge, but the HBO overnights were not very high. The Nielsen has the HBO overnights. Now, they're not accurate, but I think they were lower than last week.
Yeah, I suspect it'll surprise me if all the people that watched last week are watching this week. I could be wrong. I never know 100%. It just would surprise me because I don't think that the first episode was that good. And a lot of time with these shows, the first episode is like probably the best you'll see. It starts going downhill from every subsequent episode.
Yeah,
It's like an MCU
I think that's
Disney
going to
show.
continue. I think it's going to continue to be the trend. It's going to have. It got this whatever 9.3 million viewers in the first weekend, and every weekend following, it's going to continue dropping, and they're going to lose 50% of their audience by the finale.
It got the True Detective fans and the Green Lantern fans all psyched up to show, and it disappointed both of the fan bases.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So hopefully, if my channel gets big enough, I'll actually subscribe to Nielsen and some of the polling places where you can get more up to date and more timely. But right now, I can't afford to subscribe to the ratings things and get the real,
No, those things are expensive. The Kalshi thing has a 79% for this show to rate it number one. That's from
Yep.
But the thing is that rate number one on what? On all of Nielsen?
Yeah, number one streaming, number one on HBO, number one on Nielsen, number one.
Maybe in the
and
week
then even then,
maybe in the week that it comes out.
What does it have to compete against?
That's
the
true.
last couple of episodes of Silo.
Yeah.
The new and universally panned new season of Ted Lasso. Like, what's it competing against?
No, it doesn't have a lot of competition, but yeah, you're right. But regardless, even if it did have competition, initially the Nielsen numbers are probably going to show something good, but then they're only showing it for that premiere, like you guys just said now. Enough people that like Lanterns, that like True Detective, that like anything, I meant Green Lanterns, but you know what I mean? Like people that like all this stuff, they tuned in to watch the premiere. Yeah. I don't know that everybody's sticking around.
No, well, you didn't hear it, so they're not, because
exactly. If they were big numbers, they'd be touting them.
Right. Yeah. That was my first point. It's nice you were able to bring it back. Yeah, that was the initial point, that if everything is so great, why are they silent now? Why don't they say, for the second week in a row, our audience has grown. There's more people watching this now.
Yeah, by this time last week, they already had their numbers for the first episode. So.
Oh, they absolutely did. They're not in a hurry to talk about these numbers. There's no chance they're as big as last week.
Oh, and they're not in a hurry to really talk about James Gunn or anything else either. If you noticed, all of the DC talk has been real quiet since this weekend. Now, maybe there's another, I don't know. Honestly, I've only heard one thing talk about the last couple of days, and it's driving me nuts, and we already agreed we're not going to talk about that bullshit, so.
Eminem says Kalshi Lanterns TV show currently holds 70% chance of being the number one TV show, outperforming competitors like Furious. I gotta be honest with you, I've never even heard of Furious. I don't even know what this
what's
is.
that about?
I've seen like an ad for it. I thought it was either on Stars. I could be wrong. I don't remember where
it's a crime drama on Hulu.
Hulu? Okay, sorry.
Real crime drama on Hulu?
It's not that Chinese movie, The Furious?
No, that was actually good. The Chinese movie was good, yeah.
It was a little... Man, I'm like, ouch, that it looks like it hurts. That was a pretty freaking cool little movie there.
It was. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, TV is streaming. Everything's so fragmented now, too. It's like, does it even matter what's number one, or how do you even know, right? With these streaming sites, they only release what they want us to know, and it's just a crazy, crazy system. It's not like when we had, analog broadcasting years ago. You knew Seinfeld was kicking ass on, on Thursday night, and everyone was watching it. But what's a good show getting the ratings these days? Not much either, right? So Yeah, I mean, I watched that first episode of the new Ted Lasso show. Everyone's saying the new season's pretty bad, or it was basically a filler episode. That
It's
first
all
one.
been shit since the first season. They completely wokeified and shitified the show. Season 1 is awesome. It's not been that shit. It's just like Resident Alien and like
By the
every
way,
other.
I want to quickly just the Rumble people. I want to give some shout outs. Folsom Lockdown, God Bless 5697, Born to Be Down, Down Dark Star 86, Dude Bro Stuff 420, B Roll Stage, Psycho Magus, Pure Blood Based Berserker, Lil Pampy.
Shout out,
th-
little Pampy.
shout out to Little Pampy. Thank you for stopping by. Angry Sparrow, who is a woman. Elizabeth Quince, also 2 ladies. The
Yeah, I asked Angry Sparrow why is Sparrow. She didn't answer me. I'm just curious.
I thought she said something. I don't know if it was an answer to you. She said something like that somebody called her that because she's called Robin and that was a nickname, or I don't know.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
I think so. She can later say if I'm right or not, if she's still awake. In any case, so that's the ladies of some of the ladies you may meet at the Night Owl. Angry Sparrow and Elizabeth Quince, the Devastator 5319, Sal the Hamster, Entropy Nomad, Volume Dealer 1, Bry Guys Gaming Corner, who did a raid, thank you so much. Zero G, Some Late Guy, Long Island 90, Hopper 433, Z3 Fius, and Ira Flowers.
And we also had Deeple, who just popped in. So also make sure to mention Deeple.
Yep.
Deeple 101. Let's see. Over on YouTube, we had quite a few people joining us tonight. And thankfully, the top fan seems to be working again. It was not working the other night. Glade Riven, Ethereal Dragon, Jason Love Doctor Who, FKHC 2005. Hey, Tim. Andrew Broadbent, Moondog Maine 2x2, Mark S47, Marla Sharondoff, Dutch Gradient, Rogue's Backstory.
Another lady, yes.
Yes, Robot Head, Con Lives, Tim Hayes, Lasher, Darth Scipio, Shannon K, Andrew Zacchaeus, Keely Chow, Captain Palsy, RJ Godzilla, iLord Corey, Whalem 03, Void King, Poker Ace, Georges Irex, Mob 1901, Kuna Ritchie, Mark D with a C, E. Clay Thomason, Gavin Unit, Tomahawk 511, Joe Darkness, Tornadoes Men's Rights, Mr. E. Bodico, Angry Sparrow again, Trev Toon Art, Kirarunte, Istphobos, Yitis, Echo 32, Echo 7, Ryan Lopez, Stephen Mack, Fishbulb, Matthew Marcillo, The Real Head Case, Jason Webster, Big Sur River, and Kamchi.
All right. Well,
Yes,
that
thanks for
concludes a
joining us,
really, really
everybody.
good stream. Let me just
Yep.
put in the links for the people here.
Yep.
Hold on one second.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep.
while you're getting those, I'll recognize our fan funding for tonight. We did get a super chat from The Real Head Case, 2 from Kamchi, 5 memberships given out by Fishbulb, and a super chat from Jason Webster. So, yep. And
So
by the way,
I guess
Fishbulb, I love the Mr. Sparkle avatar for your yeah. Mr. Sparkle.
So I guess we're all not recommending you watch Lanterns out there. The Price of Reason Studios is not going to get a sponsorship
Absolutely
from HBO
not.
for the show,
No.
right? Yeah.
No. This is dreadful.
Not Night Owls approved.
And again, it's the thing. I don't like hate the actors in this.
No, I don't.
I
hate
don't
the
have
actor.
any problem with Aaron Pierre. I don't have any problem. I actually really like Kyle Chandler. I've never actually really seen Aaron Pierre in anything before, but I think he's fine. I like Kyle Chandler. I really like Garrett Dillahunt. I love that Paul Van Victor's got a role in this. I really like him. But just the story that they're telling, the way that they're telling it, the constant throwing in of racial and political crap that just doesn't belong in here at all. It's just miserable.
Yeah, the manufactured conflict and personal friction amongst people who would be natural allies. It's you know, and it's a little in the logical incontinuity is just very insulting to anyone's intelligence.
Oh, somebody said that we didn't mention the Mega Man part that you had. Kamchi said we didn't talk about Mega Man that was in the title. Okay, we can talk about that real quick. New Mega Man game coming out, and they're making a hilarious skin for the Pragmata game where you can play as Mega Man, and the little girl that sits on your back is dressed as Roll from the Mega Man series. It's rather funny. But yeah, new Mega Man game coming. What's it called? Mega Man Dual Overdrive, I think.
Oh yeah. That's I was gonna show the trailer. And that's the last thing, and that could be what we wrap up with.
Dual Override. That's the name.
Let me see. I think I saved the thing. Wait a second. Oh, I didn't save it. Do you know where the trailer is?
Let's see. Yeah, I've got it right here. So we can.
Yeah, I think I found it too.
Okay.
Is it showing it?
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything, but yeah, it's showing it. Oh, there you go.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, a little loud.
I would totally play this.
Yeah, definitely an old school Mega Man built at a 2.5D style. Looks great. Yeah.
Except that I'm not that coordinated anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean these games. That was funny because my son was like, "This game looks like it's fun," but I've never actually finished any of the other Mega Man games. I'm like, "Yeah, they are hard. They are really hard.
Yeah, they are hard games for real."
Especially like the original NES ones, man. Those are tough as nails.
I finished Karateka though. This looks really good, yeah.
I love the sort of quasi-anime style of the effects. It looks very...
yeah, they're definitely going for an anime style.
Yeah. Price, can I tell a quick Dolly Parton story before we check out?
Okay, that'll be our final item.
Yeah, well, and I have a link. You can hear her telling her own words. But sometime in the 80s, when Dolly was living in Santa Monica, she went into a gay club where they were having a Dolly Parton drag queen lookalike contest. She entered it under her own name, and nobody believed it was her. And she came in last place. The drag queens that dressed like her got all the applause.
She wasn't fabulous enough.
Yeah, it said she didn't look Dolly enough, but she took it in stride. It's like she's thought it was absolutely wonderful. So you can hear her tell that story to Jimmy Kimmel in the link that I'm pasting now. And then just, remember her fondly because we're not getting another one. The problem with losing all the amazing people is they're not being replaced anymore.
Nope.
What are we going to have? Billie Eilish? Nobody give a fuck when she dies 50 years from now.
Well, on that positive note,
50. That's awfully optimistic,
right? Yeah. You always love ending the Night Owl in a very positive way, and what better story of hope and determination
Yeah.
It's this wonderful story now.
Maybe someone's being born right now that'll, that'll in 40 years will be a great singer. Who knows? Yeah.
No,
Yeah, and
What about Taylor Swift?
I don't think this show is going to save the DCU. If you'd like a more detailed analysis, I have a video about it, the latest one on my channel. So
Yes, indeed.
enjoy.
Yeah, go check that out.
check it out. Wait a second. What was I gonna do now? There was something I was gonna do and I forgot. In any case,
Go to bed.
yes,
Yeah.
that's I think
Get
what
some
we
sleep.
need to do.
That's what.
All right. Oh, raid. That's it. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
you need a raid.
We need a raid.
Can you raid my guy
Yeah.
Ori? He has playing tunes. Can you send whatever? What is this thing? How do I?
You go to
What's
you know,
Ori's? We got to find Ori's stream.
I'm happy to send people there. I did find. What is it? Ori. He's playing tunes. Let's see for a second. If I go to what's live right now, it'll be like in music.
I think I've got
Trying
it.
to find it. You
DJ
found
Ori, the Bright Ori.
Let's see, DJ. Yeah, the Bright Ori, DJ
Yeah.
Ori.
Live right now.
Yeah, we can do it. Oh, I'll do it actually. It's.
I was just trying to copy the link, and it was giving me. It was being a pain in the ass. So
Let
yeah.
me see if I can do this.
Yeah.
Dashboard. Sorry, not dashboard. Okay. Only the best technology. Okay, I think we did it. Confirm raid.
There you go. All right. I was just like 2 seconds behind you, and you got to it. So yeah.
I did it. Finally, I've done something, Professor.
All right, guys. Well, have a great night. It's wonderful seeing all of you out there in the chat. Thanks for hanging with us this evening and talking about this miserable whatever.
It's been a bad day.
Yeah. We'll be back to do it again next week, I'm sure.
But Thursday we have the night owl at 11.
Yes, but we'll be back on Thursday. Yes, talking about who knows what.
Right. So we'll see you then, and good night.
Yeah, take care, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, all.
Night Owls signing